Welcome on in, everybody. My name is AirAngel, and welcome to Game Masters, the show on GDQ Hotfix where it's all about the game, the lore, the mastery, and we're doing something a little new and a little different today. We're going to also include the mastery of art and fan art behind the game itself. And right before we jump into the show, if you miss out on any GDQ Hotfix shows, check out our archive of past runs and shows at youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. So this show will be uploaded there. If you wanted to watch some of it later, that's cool too. But I would like to introduce our very first artist, Chubex. How's it going, Chubex?
It's going good. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So we have Chubex as our GDQ artist doing artist done quick drawing challenge. Basically, we're gonna give her a 30-minute estimate to draw a character from the Sekiro Shadows Die Twice game. And also with us, we have Hell Has Some Fury, who is going to be running a randomizer after this, and she's gonna be accompanied by Yo Josh Reno. Hell, Josh, how's it going?
Doing great.
It's going
Thanks for having us
fantastic.
on.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be here.
All right. So Chubex, before we do the countdown, what character are we going to draw today?
We are drawing Kuro, and
Awesome.
so you guys have.
We're gonna be talking. We're
I've heard they've got an
gonna
epic
go
bowl
into
cut.
the character, but we know she has a prompt at this given point, and I think, are you ready? Are you ready for the challenge?
Yeah.
All right. Give us a countdown.
In 3, 2, 1.
Woo! Go! All right. So, Hero, tell us about this character.
Josh, do you want to take this one or me?
Yeah, okay, so Kuro, he is just a simple 10-year-old kid, just exactly what you would expect, totally normal, but with blood that makes people immortal. Normal kid stuff.
Yep.
And
Magic blood.
people want that, people are into that idea. And
So, I guess
that's the whole thing.
I guess with that though, is it sort of like, for the lack of a better expression, like liquid gold at that point? Like, if you think about something that is valuable in whatever environment or era, I guess, whatever this is, I guess at that point, that leads me to my next question. Is this like in their own timeline, or do you know if this is based off of any folklore at all, or do you think this is just in like their own game universe?
It seems like it's very historical, right? Like, there's a lot of like elements to it. The rifles, for instance. There's a European character in like full armor, who is, I believe, speaking Portuguese.
Right.
So there's a lot of like very strong like feudal era Japan like historical parts of Sekiro, but
Right.
also we fight some dragons.
We fight
so-
dragons. Amazing.
So it's like historical fantasy, I guess.
Yeah.
Is the best word for it.
No, that's totally cool. So I myself have only watched Hell play this game. She's basically like my content bringer of the show. Amazing streamer, by the way. But we'll get to her portion later on in the show. But yeah, it's really cool to me to where you could definitely see the amount of detail in this game has been like thoroughly researched. I mean, I'm not a history major or anything. I don't know anything about this era, but it really does look like it encapsulates sort of like a certain period of time. At least it could have happened in real life. I don't know about the magic blood stuff, but you never know. Like,
Yeah, there's definitely like it's very grounded in reality.
Right.
And then there's these giant fantastical elements to it. There's also like a lot of Japanese folklore has been included. So like the headless are they're like a mini boss type enemy.
Gotcha.
They are very rooted in folklore as well.
Yeah, it's very like, it feels very culturally authentic, you know, even in the stuff that didn't actually happen and isn't, you know, historically accurate. It at least, you know, references, you know, cultural elements from the time.
Yeah, totally. Oh, and so like circling back to this character, I guess why I mean like I know why we care about this character because of the magic blood, but like are we saving this character? Are we trying to is he pulling like he's in a castle somewhere we got to save him, or is it a protection, like are we a bodyguard? What's the
Constantly. We're constantly saving him.
Yep.
I think
Amazing.
I think he gets kidnapped 3 times by my count. Josh, correct me if I'm wrong.
I think that's right. You know, at some point you kind of lose count. But he pulls. It's a very. We were talking about this before the show, and it's very like Princess Peach-esque in terms of like, you know, he's always in another castle.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he's definitely, because of his magical blood, he's a commodity. People really want that magic blood and kidnap him several times. We have to chase him down over the course of the game in order to, you know, rescue him. But we've been tasked with his protection.
Right.
In the kind of, you know, God of War is dad of boy.
Right.
In Sekiro, we're the shinobi of boy. We're saving boy all the time.
Do we have like any connection to him at all, or is it just like he was assigned this bodyguard? We're talking about, for those of you who are just joining, I see a lot of people in chat incredibly confused. So at this point, we are diving into the lore of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice as an art segment draw challenge. We've got 30 minutes as an estimate, and we have Chubex doing the amazing arts. She's doing really well so far. 5 minutes in, and we've got almost a full figure going on. And basically what we wanted to encapsulate in this segment is the mastery of everything about the game. Not only what it is, what Sekiro is, but even the art style and the fan art behind it, and just how people can just promote video games in more ways than just one. So that's why we're here. Welcome, chat. If you have any questions, pop them in chat, and we can throw them out there for any kind of answers you want. I guess my next question is specifically for Hell, and Josh, you can also answer this. But what drew you to playing Sekiro? Obviously, it's like beautiful, but
I'm a longtime fan of like From Software games. And it was like the next evolution of From Software. But also, you know, I started to play it, and I think like a lot of people, I had the experience of trying to play it like it was Dark Souls, and it was not.
It is not Dark Souls.
No, and it plays very differently. And like once you understand that, you have a much better time in Sekiro. I remember trying to like fight almost every boss without parrying, even though that's a core mechanic of the game. And I got pretty far in the game without ever parrying. And then I eventually realized that maybe I should use the tools the game gave me.
That is a good tip.
Hell was just really into the challenge running scene straight from the get-go, you know?
Yeah. Well, Hell also, again, obviously she plays a lot of Dark Souls. She's up for any kind of challenge whatsoever.
I mean, these are my comfort games. They're relaxing.
Relaxing. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen of the court and of chat, I'll have some fury and said that Dark Souls is relaxing. So I just want that to go on record. What about you, Josh? What drew you to Sekiro?
I had a really similar experience to Hell, actually. I had a lot of experience in Dark Souls 3 at that point. Well, I guess not that much experience, actually, but, you know, a new From Software title was coming out. I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to play it. And I played it, didn't like it, played it, you know, a little bit longer than the 2-hour refund limit for Steam, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm stuck with it. And then tried it a few more times and didn't really fall in love with this game until I started speedrunning it. Made some awesome friends through the speedrunning community and just had an amazing, wonderful time playing this game. And it was just a really good time, and that's where I'm at now.
Nice. For the speedrun in particular, I do randomizers of all different sorts of more retro style games, but I do know a lot of randomizer players are speedrunners. So do you also play a bunch of randomizers in this, or are you primarily a speedrunner?
I usually do speedruns. I'm also a no-hit runner.
Wow. All right. So another challenge. Another
I've been all over the place with these games.
Right.
But yeah, I love speedrunning. It's something that I've gotten into relatively recently, and it's just been amazing.
Yeah, totally. And I know, I don't know how much back and forth the speedrun community and the randomizer community talk. I would assume pretty frequent. Do you know if there's a lot of tech used in randomizers that is also used in the speedruns?
I've seen a fair amount of it go like both ways. Actually, so the Sekiro speedrunning Discord has a section that's specific to randomizers, and they do a monthly challenge run where everybody has the same seed and we race.
Awesome.
So it's really wonderful in that way, and everybody on there has been really helpful. I'd say they, were really friendly when I asked for advice.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I really love the collaboration there. Again, encapsulating game masters here. I know like a lot of randomizers, you can find the most random tricks to try to get past a certain area, or you're just like, hey, I don't have this item in this particular section. Is there any way I can skip a big chunk of this next part? And that I always find that super interesting, how communities sort of come together or even meld together to find the most random stuff. And again, everybody that's in chat right now, we are doing an art segment first, and then we are going to get into a randomizer run of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. And before I ask our artists a couple questions, if you are watching on YouTube, feel free to join us over at twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick to check out our live shows starting most nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. And while you're there, Hotfix is funded in part thanks to your subscriptions and bits. Please consider subscribing to help support future broadcasts and make this broadcast possible by viewers like you. Thank you. Anyways, so Chubex, so far 11 minutes in, it looks like you are doing great and making some progress. So I wanted to throw a couple of art-focused questions your way. What was your strategy going into this challenge?
Drawing people can be really challenging.
That is the challenge itself.
And so proportions are always the hardest. So having a reference image helps a lot. And thankfully, Hel and Josh were able to give me some great references to work with to kind of give me an idea of just kind of the way the character carries themselves and like maybe some special details of the clothes that they're wearing to help kind of make that connection. And so yeah, I was starting with just the like where the shoulders and the head and the proportions and all that, and then trying to kind of get the rough edges done first. And then after I kind of have like things together the way I want, then I can start doing things like the face or details on the clothes. And I actually like downloaded a Photoshop brush because I wanted one that felt like charcoal scratching on paper, because it just felt really like fitting for the game and the time period that it's in, and ink.
Totally.
So
it's definitely an awesome vibe. And talking about tools, what program are you currently using?
I'm using Photoshop.
Okay, so Photoshop, and do you particularly enjoy more of a digital art medium, or do you do any other types of art, or is this like your main jam?
Sometimes it'll be a long stretch before I have been able to do a lot of art. I know sometimes you have artist block, or
Oh, totally.
or you're not like enjoying it anymore and you do something different. I have 3 beloved spawn, and they love watercolors and they love coloring with crayons, and I feel like I've been doing a lot more of that lately. I prefer a good old sketchbook and pencil, and I should keep drawing while I'm doing this. Can you tell how easily I get distracted?
It's totally fine. We'll go back to some more game questions, but before we go, do you have any tips for anyone that is looking into Photoshop or digital art for beginners?
I know there are a bunch of free programs that people have used, because I know Photoshop can be a little bit pricey. But I also know that you can get like a Photoshop / Lightroom, or like a bundle of like just like if you only use Photoshop or Illustrator, if you prefer to do like I can't think of the word now, because Photoshop works with pixel manipulation, Illustrator works with line manipulation, and
Gotcha.
I use more of Illustrator when I do like commissions and things, because it allows me to get much cleaner lines, and they're better for emotes or other things like that. When I'm drawing just for me, I like to have, like I said, like the sketchbook and the pencil, and that helps like get my hand like a sort of muscle memory to what I end up wanting to create. And then when I bring it in digitally, it's a lot easier to produce it like the first or second time, as opposed to erase, start over, those type things.
Yeah, totally. So back to game talk. So right now, Bex has a really awesome start to this challenge, and just the expression on Kuro's face. We talked about it a little bit before the show. If we want to talk about their personality a little bit, I know Kuro's still sort of like, I don't know, one of those people that's still a bit unknown, but if Josh, if you want to take away about just the demeanor.
Well, first of all, I gotta say, I am absolutely loving this thumbs up he's given. He is positively
Amazing.
vibing, which I think that Kuro deserves to be vibing, given all of the stuff that he goes through in the game.
Right.
You know, like he's very somber throughout the game, and you don't really get to see him being much of a kiddo. So seeing him get the chance to, maybe take a load off and have a little bit more fun, it warms my heart a little bit,
Yeah, totally. But yeah, we talked a little bit before the show about sort of Kuro is sort of, how would you say it? Sort of like a kid emperor in a way. He had to grow up right fast, real quick. And I really do think this drawing is actually like embodying that a little bit, because obviously you gotta shake it off, be loose every now and then, but there's, I don't know, something in his eyes is still giving me that real stoic emperor vibe.
Yeah, he's got some like maturity to him.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, like
yeah, go ahead.
he spends the whole game, running from these dudes that are like, hey, give me your blood. So he's very like somber and kind of bummed throughout the game.
Yeah,
Doesn't
totally.
have that kiddo energy.
Yeah, gotta have some kiddo energy sometime.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, he's got like a whole, area that he has control over. He's got like you said, the kid emperor energy. He's got this whole region that he's kind of responsible for. So, he's got this very grave responsibility for an area, but also for the wrong person not becoming immortal. I
Right.
feel like that would weigh on a person, especially a really young person.
So is Kuro also just like incredibly old? I know we said that having his blood makes you immortal, but do we know how old he is? Like, he looks like he's 10, but do we know how old he
I
is?
don't think we know, but like, I mean, in the sense that his blood makes you immortal, it's like that you can't die.
Oh,
Like,
gotcha.
more so than it is that like you don't age, right?
Right. So time, your body clock doesn't stop. You just physically can't die.
Yeah, that's why we die twice, is because we have some of Kuro's blood.
Oh, look at that. Full circle. It's the lore.
Yeah.
See, this is where I'm learning so much about this game, because obviously, like, just watching it as just either someone watching a speedrun or a randomizer, finding out the lore about this behind it, and this is everybody, chat, we found out why we die twice, and it's so amazing.
I love it when games give you an explanation for why
Yeah.
that kind of stuff happens, you know?
Yeah, and it's just like that buzzword, the buzzword bingo card. Did they say the game name in the game? You know?
It's very satisfying, honestly.
Yeah, totally.
There's your free space, everybody.
Everybody put a chip down.
Oh gosh. Sekiro randomizer bingo would be very, very entertaining. I'm certain.
Hey, that sounds like that sounds like something we could do.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of which, just a reminder to chat, yes, we are doing a draw challenge for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. We have the amazing Chubex doing a 30-minute challenge, sketch fan drawing challenge of Kuro. And then we are going to do a randomizer following this challenge. So Game Masters, just to reiterate, is trying to encapsulate everything about gaming. That includes the game itself, the lore, as well as the art and everything behind the scenes. And we also plan to do arts and crafts on this show. There's a lot that's going to be going on in Game Masters. This show is every other Tuesday, so the next show is going to be on the 26th. So make sure you mark your calendars. And also, we do have quite a few new shows starting up in the next couple weeks. So if you want to head over to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix and watch our Twitter for information on when they start. There's a lot of new awesome content coming out, and we're just really happy to be here and to show it all off. All right, Chubex, we're in 20 minutes. We're in 20 minutes. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not too great at drawing feet. But you can kind of, I don't know. I can throw in some like background stuff now if I wanted to. I could. Well, what I should do is I should make another layer and drop it behind everything else. That way, as I'm drawing, I'm not gonna have to erase all the work I just did. You know?
I think
Yeah,
everyone's made the mistake once where they've drawn over their current layer and then they can't go back and do it.
Yeah.
It is the worst. I also
the brush is really
dabble
thick and-
in. Yeah, I also dabble in the digital arts. Everybody, protect your layers. If you have time and you're not doing a draw challenge, label them. If you're really invested in spending time on it, because yeah, your art gets lost in a single layer, and then it's like, well, I guess we're just gonna do this all in one right now.
This is my life now.
Yep, this is it. We're here.
Yeah, proportions are hard, hands are hard, feet are hard, but you can still have fun drawing and trying to bring a character to life. And if you want, literally, you gotta start somewhere, right? And if a stick figure is where you want to start, here's your stick figure version.
Right, and you can
even just go ahead and do that.
Yeah, and fan art is like in your style and whatever you feel from the characters that you're either referencing or random things that just inspire you to do it. Just go out there and just give it a good old try, you know? Like, heck it. So
Yeah, this style feels so appropriate for Sekiro. It's so lovely. I'm loving it so far, Chu.
Yeah,
It's great.
it's awesome. Yeah. Look at that.
I
There
think
you
you got
go.
his expression just right.
Yeah.
It's like I'm so done with this.
Well, just let us know whenever you feel like you are good with your sketch, and we can stop the timer whenever you're comfortable. Or if there's anything else about how you plan out fan arts and how you even venture to find your style, that's also cool too. It's up to you.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna add one more little thing since I have a little bit of time. I know there's like an important item in the game. And maybe he'll just be having some cozy socks on that has
Yeah.
this important item on it to, bring him maybe some comfort or not. I don't know enough about this item. I just know that it's really important to the game because
Cozy
Hell told me so.
I'm here for it, honestly. It's
I
that
love
it's
this
that time
idea
of
so
year.
much.
Yeah, it's that time of year for Sekiro socks. Somebody needs to do that now.
I really want Lotus of the Palace socks now.
I know.
Like,
See, welcome to Game Masters, where we come
All right,
up with
time.
brands. All right, time, everybody, time, and that's you did it.
Yay!
GG's. That everybody is the first art segment of Arts Done Quick / Draw Challenge on the GDQ channel and this show ever. How do you feel? How do you feel overall on the quick draw?
I feel really good. I feel like I had fun, and I feel like I did the character some justice. And I see areas where it's kind of challenged me and inspired me to maybe improve upon the piece I've already made, and maybe go back and try to do a more detailed version.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Yeah, wow. Okay, so just my thoughts so far. First of all, you nailed it. Second of all, I think my favorite parts are the expression, the thumbs up, and honestly, the socks is just everything. The socks is everything.
socks are perfect. I
Socks
love
are
them
way
so
easier
much.
to draw than feet. I'm just gonna put that out there.
That is an artist hack right there.
Yeah, you heard
Throw
it
some
here,
socks
folks.
on there.
You heard it here, folks. Socks, no feet.
Having trouble with hands? Throw the socks on them too.
Yeah, call them
I mean,
mittens.
yeah.
Okay, well, one time I did beat Lady Butterfly with sock hands, so
That's fair.
It's
Oh my
possible.
god, legendary.
That is possible.
How did you do that? That's amazing. They found the character. They have it up there for you guys. My reference image.
Shout out to our GDQ tech, just doing the most for us. But yeah, that's it for the art drawing challenge segment. Chubex, is there anything you'd like to say or any shout outs you want to give out before we head out to a little break?
I just really want to say thank you guys for being here. I hope you had a lot of fun with this segment. This was a really cool concept, and I'm really glad I got to be part of it. And I hope that if whether you consider yourself an artist or not, that you'll pick up a pencil and try doodling, or a crayon, or a piece of chalk, or something, and have some fun.
Yeah, I really did enjoy this segment, and I'm really excited for the future of game mastery. But yeah, coming up next, we have Sekiro Shadows Die Twice Randomizer, run by Hell Has Some Fury and commentary by Yo Josharino. But stay tuned. We're gonna take a short break, and we'll be right back. Back everyone, we are back with Game Masters. I am your showrunner today, AirAngel, and I hope you all are having a great Tuesday. Before we get started, I just wanted to remind everybody that Frame Fatales has been selected as a finalist for the Game Hers Awards. I just typed !vote in chat if you want more information on that, or you could go to the Frame Fatales Twitter and check out their pinned tweet. All right, back to Game Masters, where this show is basically about anything and everything about games, between the arts, the lore, and every single solitary thing about it. With us, we have Hell Has Some Fury, going to be our runner today of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice Randomizer. Hell, how you feeling?
I'm doing all right. Let's go beat this game.
Yeah. And on commentary, we have Yo Josh Reno. How you doing?
Hello, hello. I'm doing just great. Thanks for asking.
Sweet. All right, Hal, do you want to give us a countdown?
Let me get into a new game,
Sure.
and then
Here we go.
then I'll start it. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we're off.
All right, so what is usually the game plan at the very beginning?
Find out if there's anything very, very dangerous
Okay.
at the opening of the game. So this is enemies randomized, items randomized, bosses randomized.
Some 20 years.
So there could be something extremely dangerous.
Okay, so this is
Right.
like a full randomizer situation. This like all of the
Yes.
settings.
Yes. So this is actually like a full race seed. We actually already made something angry. I'm not sure what it is. We're gonna find out.
Yeah,
All right.
typically
It is
you
a
can just
terror
kinda
monkey. That's bad.
chill on your way through here, but
It's fine.
so far we're anything but chill.
You know, so we're probably going to play this a little safe. We don't have a weapon right now. We also don't have the ability to run yet, which
Oh,
is really
wow.
important for setting up jumps in this game. And that's why I was jumping just like on our way over here. It's a little bit faster.
Gotcha.
But I also didn't want to cause a chaos to have them notice me.
That's
you know?
that's totally fair and valid. So with randomized, it doesn't mean that it's like randomized damage, correct? So if you encounter an enemy, it's whatever, I guess, hit points that enemy takes on you, and that's what you see is what you get.
So there is some scaling in the randomizer, but it's mostly in the bosses in the
Gotcha.
randomizer.
No, right. There's this door I need to see.
That's the real like area where you're gonna have that happen.
Yeah, there are some truly, truly nasty things that you can run into at the beginning of the game that we're not really prepared for.
Yeah.
You'll also notice that Sekiro's ability to sprint is tied to whether or not he has his sword out and whether he has his sword or not.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Fun
no
little
sword
quirk about
equals
him.
no sprinting?
Exactly.
Yep.
Wow.
Gotta have a sword.
So if he goes
No
inside,
ability to run without a sword.
if he goes inside and he politely puts his sword away, he can no longer sprint.
Oh, gotcha. Wow. All right. Sharp things in this game make you fast.
Oh gosh. I missed my jump because lightning doggo.
Wow.
Oh, he's here, huh?
That's so dangerous.
Yeah, they're not the safest.
Just a classic.
We don't really want those at the beginning here. Oh man.
Good old Divine
Everything's
Palace
messing
enemies.
up
That's a good
my,
time.
So, Josh, can
Yeah,
you give
it was a
us
great time
can you
for
give
a
us
shirt
sort of
right
the
there.
rundown of what this area is?
So this is effectively the tutorial area. This is the area where they teach you how to block and how to parry and how to do death blows. And then they even give you a little tutorial mini boss just to kind of round out the tutorialization, which they do an excellent job of in this game. Tutorial not so effective whenever the enemies are not what they're supposed to be, but fortunately Hell is a master.
She is. She's a game
You
master.
happen to know.
Oh, and that's Ishin.
Yeah, it's fine. Just let him take us. It's fine.
Is this where would this boss be typically in the vanilla game?
So I think that was Ishin Ashina, and he would be at the terrible ending. The like, you are a bad person for picking this ending,
Oh, like he's
which
the
is
final
called the
boss.
sure ending. Yeah, so he's one of the potential final bosses. There's several different final bosses that you can
Oh,
get.
interesting.
It feels really appropriate that we would see him as the first boss in the randomizer.
Yeah.
So in the randomizer, it definitely takes every single boss, no matter what ending you get. I take it, or was that an indicator that this is a bad ending seed?
So we can still choose to do the bad ending if we want
Right.
to. It just means that the boss will be different for whoever shows up there.
Gotcha.
So I'm probably gonna go for an Immortal Severance ending, which is the not bad, kind of okay ending.
The neutral.
But if we can't do that in time, we will go for a Shura ending, which is the bad times ending.
There.
Yeah,
I was
there's
trying
really
very
like
hard not to fall off the edge.
like it feels terrible to do that ending. I can't bring myself to do it outside of a speedrunning context.
It's really awful. You become a demon.
Wow.
It feels bad.
And not
Yeah,
in the
bad,
cool way
man.
either.
Okay, all right. No stabbing me, sir. It's rude.
Oh, fun little
stabbing.
bunch of enemies around here, huh?
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize because a lot of times you just run by them. Oh gosh.
So, have we picked up any? Oh, hello.
What?
Have we
Okay,
picked-
well
wow,
that's
nice
exciting. Let's go
redirect.
take care of her.
Well done.
Ma'am, please no.
So I saw we got like an esoteric text. Okay, prayer bead is nice. Have we gotten any other like super important items yet? I've been so
don't
focused on
think
the
so.
chaos.
I have processed that we have a prayer bead, a text which we will use to get more skills, and we also just picked up a prosthetic tool. Prosthetics are, in my opinion, only important in that if you have 3 of them, you can get the sculptor to give you an important item. So I think one thing that's important to know here for the randomizer is that there's important items and then there's key items. Key items we actually need for, plot progression. But important items are things like gourd seeds and prayer beads and stuff like that. And those go to important item locations in the randomizer, or at least in a race seed. Okay, so I can't afford anything. I really want that Shinobi Medicine rank 1. I'm just gonna buy coin purses to keep the amount of coins that I have, and then we'll remember that this person has important items. We'll want to come back to this merchant.
So for the randomizer, do you have to stay in certain sections of the game and find, like advancing items in order to get to the next? I guess I don't know if you would say level or area, if that makes any sense.
I mean, I think it's, as far as I know, it's not possible to like soft lock yourself out of getting items.
Gotcha.
They might be, they might end up. Whoopsie. Hello. Who is
Sneaking
with
up
the
on
cannons?
the old lady.
I am not. You take.
What have you got? A mechanical barrel.
Lovely.
That upgrades our prosthetic tool.
So yeah, progression is basically like locked behind either killing bosses or finding specific keys, right? Effectively.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, it can be that you find everything in the first set of areas that you have access to, right? Like it's not necessary for us to like go to the final area if there isn't anything we need there. We'll get some hints through the course of the randomizer. Basically, anytime there is like a scroll on a wall, we might find a hint, right?
This randomizer is so well done. That is such a cool feature.
It's super useful, honestly. I'm gonna go back and kill that purple guy. I really don't want him to attack us in the course of trying to fight whatever is the replacement for Chained Ogre.
Oh yeah. Okay. So this is like you took care of the first mini boss really quickly. Oh my gosh, he aggroed right away. And it's Miss Noble.
Oh, it's Miss Noble.
Hardest boss
All
in
right,
the
y'all
whole
ready
game
for a
right
meme?
here.
What? I'm
Here
here
we
for
go.
a meme.
The suspense. Oh
He's
my.
so hard.
Oh, is he gonna?
Gosh.
Okay, phase 1 down. Okay.
Let's
Ooh.
go.
Oh, he's going for the get knocked up behind the tree tactic. No, okay, excellent. Wow, perfect.
Oh, we got a secret passage key and a memory and a gourd seed. Okay, so
Nice.
that's a key item. the secret passage key. It's required for an immortal severance ending.
Awesome. And there's the lizard, featuring lizard.
Yeah, I don't normally kill the lizards unless I have to. They can poison. Oh, another gourd seed. Heck
Oh, very
yeah.
nice.
Okay, cool.
So you were
Alright,
saying
so we're
like,
gonna go-
can lizards hurt you in this game?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they can
Lord.
poison you.
Everything in this game can kill you, even lizards.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
cute
even
things.
crickets can kill you. If you aren't careful.
Crickets? Oh my gosh.
Yes, crickets. I just realized we should go turn in our gourd seeds.
So
So we're
what
gonna
it-
go see Emma.
So what is this teleport? There's like a teleport feature.
Yeah. So we have these little shrines, and they can help us teleport from place to place, but only once you light them up.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
You made this.
So it kind of seems like the prevailing strat for this is like pick up all the things and then see what's important.
Well, I mean, so we can also have like a situation where like we get later in the game and we don't need to pick up as many things. The reason why I'm picking up everything now
Oh, you got a memory.
is that we picked one up from the Miss Noble. The reason why I'm picking up everything now is that even things that we can't really use in the randomizer, I can sell.
Totally.
And things will end up in you know, in shops and stuff, and we don't want to lock ourselves out of a shop item just because we don't have money.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Oh, gosh.
It's so, gosh, this is like the most like ultimate randomizer. So we have random enemies, we have random bosses. All of the items are not only randomized in locations, but they are randomized on the boss locations as well as the shops. Wow.
Yeah,
And that's just
the skills are randomized.
so much.
So that was your first hint right there, Hell,
Yeah,
right?
it was.
So,
Yeah, it was.
Tell us about
So
what
it said
what did that say?
nothing underwater anywhere, Josh. Josh is
Nothing
my scorekeeper
underwater
for hints.
anywhere.
Yeah.
So that refers to like the Mibu breathing technique, right?
Right. So basically what it means is that once we get Mibu, we don't actually have to go check all the important locations where Mibu breathing technique would give us access to a key item normally, or I should say an important item normally. So like if there's a prayer bead normally in a chest underwater, we might spawn a like key item, a necessary to end the
headless.
game item. You might, if you know Sekiro, you might be like, how did she just run by that headless? I don't have slow walk for headless turned on. That's an option in the randomizer. Okay,
That's
so
awesome.
any treasure in a leaderless Ashina doesn't contain anything required, Josh. So that probably means for phase 1 of Ashina, no required items.
I see. So like after, so at the point where Ashina does get a leader, then you might actually have
Yeah.
required items there. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So it's very specific right now. Okay, so we got one mine. Oh, don't fall off of cliffs, Hell.
Oh, and
Thank
these
you
doors
very
are open
much.
by default too. That's so nice.
Yeah, so this is a race seed, except for several very important things. So first off, I turned off slow walk for the headless. Second, I made it so that the demon of hatred can't spawn anywhere. Because,
That's so
No.
good. Oh my gosh.
and then lastly, the bias of the randomizer is set to 0 instead of to 25. Okay, so don't try a sprawling Buddhist temple for required items. That's where we are right now. This is Senpo.
We're here. Thanks, game.
Oh, okay. It's like
Thanks
turn
for
back.
letting me know that we don't have to be here at
Nah,
all.
you're good.
It's sort of
I'm gonna
like
go get
if you
this.
go. It's sort of like if you do Ocarina of Time randomizers and it's just like this certain area is foolish and you're in that area,
Yeah.
you're like, well, thanks. Thanks, gamers.
Beautiful. Thank you for telling me beforehand.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm just happy to be here. Look at the scenery.
Yeah. All right.
You're not gonna ring the,
So we're
the
gonna
demon
go
bell?
back. Huh?
You're not going to ring the demon bell?
No, thank you. Nope.
Nope.
I think I'll be good without it.
It would be
Okay.
interesting if they gave you something else instead of the bell demon.
Yeah, it would. That's not the case. I tried ringing it once.
What happened? What happens if you ring the demon bell? Is like just someone that's gonna ask.
Josh, can you take that?
So it basically puts you in NG Plus, so New Game Plus.
Okay.
The New Game Plus cycles, they just up the difficulty. They scale everything up, make all the bosses harder, and make all the enemies deal more damage. And that would be uncomfortable for us at this point in the game, considering we haven't fought an entire game worth of bosses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
it'd be-
You do get extra
It'd be
item
kinda
discovery out of it, though, so it's not all bad.
There's giant snake.
A very angry giant snake trying to kill me, giant snake.
I
Hello,
was
giant
wondering if
snake.
we were going to see a randomized giant snake, but you know, I suppose that wouldn't make a ton of sense.
Yeah, I feel like if you put anybody else here, it's not as threatening, right?
Yeah,
Put Lady Butterfly here.
What's the snake story? Like, who did someone tell this snake to go there? Is it a demon? Like, what?
he's just
I
a
don't-
snake, I think.
It's just
It's just a
a snake that's just really mad.
Very angry snake.
He's just vibing, hanging out.
Wow. I feel like we just like violated their home, and they're just like, look, just gotta get out of here. And we're like,
Please leave me alone.
I want to know
Okay,
who
so we
set up
don't
the little
have any
tent there.
nobles.
Oh, no nobles.
That's the
What does
thing
that
that I
mean?
check for here. The most dangerous thing that could happen here is that there are some nobles. Oh no, I got
Oh,
grabbed.
the grabby boys.
the zombie.
Crabby boys, they're everywhere. They're terrible. You can tell that they're around because you can hear them like breathing strangely. You
It's
hear that
horrific.
that yeah,
Yeah.
I just ran back by it. Did you hear that?
That's the sound that makes Mibu Village so terrifying.
Yeah, it's very disturbing.
Like a
All right, let's go check out who Gyobu is.
Oh, this is
definitely had like a
exciting.
weird connection with like Diglett, but it's spooky.
The final
All right.
evolution of Diglett.
Who?
Yes.
Their name is Gyobu, that's for sure.
That's the meme.
Jenny.
Oh, it's
Oh.
Jenny from the block.
It's
Hello,
just from the
sir.
block.
It's Lightning Jenny from the block,
Oh, wow.
which is especially exciting.
What are you doing here, friend?
These graphics are amazing,
Oh.
honestly.
All right. Gonna
So
Try
this
to get
Genichiro
my-
is typically phase 2 of the one you first fight. He sheds off all his armor and turns into this guy. And then he starts throwing lightning all over the place.
got him.
Flawless, wow. Look at that. Hell even parried the flurry attack, which many runners will just completely avoid because it's
Ooh.
almost impossible to perfect parry every attack in that combo.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is actually nearly impossible.
Oh, I feel like Elle Woods right now. What? Like it's hard?
But it's hard. Hell's a game master, so
She is. She can't be stopped.
can't stop,
I
won't
don't know.
stop.
I feel like I spent so much time with a lot of the bosses that like I don't know. It's easy to read them after a certain point, you know?
Yeah, it becomes
Yeah,
sort of like a muscle memory type. But yeah, wow.
Yeah, especially in this game
Yeah.
because all the bosses have their own unique rhythm to them, and once you get a feel for that rhythm, it just feels kind of like a dance.
Very well.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it really does. It feels like you're like meeting up with an old friend, you know? And like maybe you haven't talked to each other in a few months, but like you just fall right back into the pattern of your conversation as though like no time passed.
Totally.
That's a really nice way to put it, and totally doesn't seem to fit with my experience of just simply panicking.
And then there was panic.
I mean, but the panic is so fun.
It's okay,
It's so
fun
fun,
panic.
though.
There we go.
All All right.
How
so we're gonna
appropriate
come
for
back
spooky
here
season.
because he has an important item slot. After we kill all of these rats that he just tasked us with killing, they're not normally actual rats. They're actually people, but that's what he calls them.
It's kind of
Which I think is not
mean,
so nice.
honestly. It's not very
Rude.
respectful.
Yeah, it's kind of not so nice, to be honest with you. Yep.
Well, that was a great job on Genichiro Oniwa.
Yeah, he gave me like a really nice set of things.
Oh, what
to
did he
parry
give you?
there.
It's like we breezed right past it. I didn't even see it.
I mean, I don't know. He's not the hardest phase of anything, in my opinion, you know? Like,
And that's the rat. Wait, was the rat still just a regular enemy?
no, we got 3 strange little placements there.
Oh, I see.
All right, so we'll go back. We're gonna give this, and I also have some money now. It's also, I said, important to get prosthetic tools when you can, and I spotted one that was cheap, so we might buy it just in order to have it, because we need 3. Oh,
Oh, hello.
well, that was worth
Congratulations, you
it.
beat Demon of Hatred.
Memories power you up. Their attack power increases. So, very worthwhile to pick one up if you can. Okay, so the shurikens. And
So
then I'm gonna sell
in
some
terms of
stuff.
the lore, like memories, is this like collecting memories from like your previous life?
Like memories of battles that you like fought and won,
Gotcha.
basically. So like I fought this really hard boss and now I'm more powerful for it.
He's like, oh, I remember
Okay.
that fight. I'm gonna learn about that and then apply it to my next fight, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Basically.
Which is
Military
interesting because I guess you
strategic
can
studies,
choose.
right in a bottle.
It's like stay in school, kids.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna travel to the dilapidated temple. We're just doing some housekeeping right now. I don't want to forget that we have a memory or a gourd seed, so we're gonna take care of that right now so that we don't have to worry about it in the future.
I'm glad.
We briefly mentioned that Demon of Hatred is not going to show up in any random places, which might sound a little disappointing at first until you realize that there are some places where Demon of Hatred is truly a nightmare, and
Oh man.
it's so easy to get hard stuck.
True Monk's Bridge with Demon of Hatred is a nightmare. An absolute
gosh.
nightmare.
Because like
It's the worst.
positioning is so important on Demon of Hatred. There are attacks where you want to be close, there are attacks where you want to be far away. And in certain arenas, your only option is to be close.
Yeah.
And so if he
Yeah.
gives you bad RNG, you're just kind of your run is over.
Yeah. I mean I've beaten him on the bridge before. It's doable. It's just not fun.
Yeah. It's got a sense of novelty for the first, couple of attempts at it. And then you're like, okay, I would like to move on from this now.
You're like, this doesn't feel particularly fair.
I'd like to trade my Demon of Hatred for one Gyobu, please, if you don't mind.
Yes. Can I turn this one in for now? I mean, I'm really hoping that we end up with a Gyobu on the roof. 'Cause I just feel like that's a really common placement for him. And then we get to wonder about the horse and how it
how
got
do
to the top
they
of a
transport the
castle.
horse around?
How to the very tippy top of this castle? Is there a crane somewhere or? All right, let's see.
All right, the Blazing Bull. Who do we have?
Blazing Bull. Got a
I don't even know
villager?
who this is. Blazing.
Oh no.
Oh,
It's a spear boy.
oh, it's a 7 spears guy.
This is gonna be really difficult. I'm gonna try and
No
fight it, but
Makiri.
I do have a backup plan if this doesn't work. Yes, I would like to remind everyone that I have no Makiri counter right now. So if you're wondering why I'm not actually, you know,
Using
doing
it.
the fun counters to him, it's because I can't.
I gotta say though, this looks like it's going great so far.
I think I'm just dodging at the right times. See?
There it is.
There's our first death.
Yeah,
It's
Totally
okay.
Makiri
we
fine.
get
counter
through
is-
it.
Honestly, like you're doing great.
Loyal wolf, take my blood and live again.
From
Thank
what
you,
I've
Kuro.
heard in these randomizer runs, Makiri counter is like one of the first things that you want to have.
Yeah, it's definitely important. Yeah, see. There we go. All right, it's okay.
Classic
We're
7
gonna-
spears.
We're gonna go around. So, as you noted earlier, Josh, the door to Senpo is actually open. It's not naturally open. That's an option in the randomizer, but that's one of the race seed options. That is like just ordinary. So we're gonna go that
It
way
makes for some really interesting
We're gonna go
progression
around.
for sure.
because I don't currently have a Makiri counter.
And hell, I feel obligated to apologize because I have caster cursed you.
what
On the
did you
7
say?
spears. It was flawless, and then I said, wow, you're doing great. And then 7 spears decided to be a jerk. It's the caster
I
curse. What
mean,
can I say?
It happens. What are you gonna do? That's a very difficult fight. Like out of the mini bosses, I would say that's one of the harder ones.
That was also that, if I'm not mistaken, that was a late game 7 spears as well, wasn't it? He seemed to have a
think
lot of
so.
HP.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I did just look into the bridge just to see if there was anything we could fight in there. Sometimes it's Blazing Bull. And you can see their face sticking out.
Oh my gosh. What's your plan here? Are you gonna say hello to the bull?
I mean, if you can see them, then you know it's Blazing Bull. I didn't see anything, so I don't think it is. I don't know who it is. It's probably not Blazing Bull.
Oh, I see. I thought you were saying he definitely wasn't there.
Oh no. If I could see him, we'd go fight him because it's fun for the memes.
For the memes.
It's a terrible placement for him, to be completely honest with you, because he is real angry and he has the power to break things, and it's a bridge that's really high up, so he can break the walls and then knock you out of
Just-
them.
Oh my gosh, he's like the anti-Roberto.
Oh yes. He
He's
will
there.
physically remove you.
He's
from
there
the
to
arena.
avenge Roberto's dad. We yeet him out of the
Basically, yeah.
bridge on all these playthroughs. He sends his buddy to yeet us off the bridge. I see how it is.
Yeah, that's definitely what's happening here. So this one only had like coins and divine confetti. We'll buy divine confetti if we need it, but we'll probably pick it up in places. Actually, hold on. Let's check. We do have a skill book right now. What have we got? Let's take this one. Okay, so there's no Makiri counter in here. So we're probably looking for a second book that will give
Okay.
us the Makiri counter.
That's so interesting with the skills randomized too. Like I kind of just considered the items, but now like the names of the books are actually totally meaningless because they don't have any specific abilities.
Yeah, they
tied
don't
to
mean
them.
anything anymore. So that's a fun time.
The game is just made up and just everything sort of matters.
Yeah. Oh, I left an item over there.
Oh,
Yeah, it's wild trying to remember where everything is. I've left a few items in different places so far, and I'm trying to keep track of where they are. just
That
in
seems
case.
to be the hardest thing about these randomizer runs is just having the game knowledge.
Is there a tracker for this yet, or is it just purely memorization?
There is one, and it's by Distraction Crab. I haven't been using it in my runs just because I didn't want to stop to
To look at
physically
right?
do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's why I'm using Josh's brain as an extra memory bank.
Sure.
Very bold
the hint.
choice.
Having the having that extra aid though, do you think for anyone that wants to start a Sekiro randomizer, do you suggest it?
I mean, it would be nice, I think. Okay, so we got a noble, which I already knew because I could hear them.
The worst
We
enemy
also got
in
a
the game.
purple guy. It's gonna be rough.
So what's the
This
deal
is
with
gonna be the House of
this
Death.
blue guy? Okay. So that little purple bar y'all saw,
Well, that was fun.
if that purple bar fills up, then you're done. It's over.
Yeah,
you
that's
actually turn into like an old grandpa.
Yeah, you become enfeebled is the game term.
That's right.
That's wow. All right.
And he
so we
uses
picked
his,
up Airbeat there.
his sword as a walking stick, and it is a really, really well done animation.
There's
Oh
so
my
many
gosh,
cast
that's
and you
characters in
hope
this
to never
place.
see it.
Wow. Oh my
Oh,
god.
that was chaos. Oh my gosh.
Blink and you'll miss it. That's my favorite room in the entire randomizer. I would like to submit it for most chaotic, but there's actually another area that we're gonna see that's pretty chaotic too.
Because that's normally just a bunch of crickets. Oh my
I'm gonna
god.
need
Good.
somebody to like go through that room in slow-mo and just like parse through who was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. we're gonna slow-mo. I just run. I don't look, I just run.
I mean, that's
like
totally
everyone
valid,
was there.
honestly.
I mean, I use my ears for nobles more than anything. I just heard one, and
Oh,
I
wow.
think he's over here. This guy,
So
very dangerous squid man.
are those like sub-bosses or are those actually bosses?
Those are actually just enemies.
Oh, wow. All right.
They're like normal enemies in the divine realm,
Okay.
and
So they're
they
just
will
fairly difficult.
they will get you. Oh man, I missed it.
That is probably they're enemies that make up the most frustrating part of the game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially on a first playthrough. If you're trying to make your way through that area, they are a nightmare.
Well, and you don't know what you're doing. I'm gonna sit down here just to make sure that we don't lose our progress. That would be not fun. To try and make our way through the cricket room again. So I actually just did this area entirely backwards.
Yeah, it's really messing with
You're-
my brain.
You're not supposed to be able to do that at this point in the game, but like I said, that door is open, so we can.
Like as a speedrunner that's run only a couple of categories, and that is my experience with this game, and it's very linear. It is
Right.
wild to see the progression be so out of order here.
I decided I wanted the spirit emblems. Hello.
So in terms of game mechanics, obviously you have sort of like this rope. It's almost like a slingshot, but it's a rope. Is there like any limit as to like what you can climb up, or is there just like designated trees or ledges?
There's certain like handholds
Right.
that are like trees and like roof tiles in particular tend to be
Okay.
like things that you can climb.
Right. I'm just seeing you like climb up all these things. I'm like, wow, I have trouble even going up a flight of stairs, and we're just going.
We're just zooming.
going up the side of a cliff. That's fine.
It's
And, like,
fine.
Technologically, it's pretty cool. He's just got a thing on his arm that just throws a rope out.
Yeah, totally.
I want to know how his prosthetic works. It's incredible. Like,
Is it spring loaded? Like, what are we working with here?
there are some spring-loaded prosthetic tools now that you mention it, but I mean, I don't really know. Like, apart from the shurikens, which are spring-loaded, So if you ever get like isolated enemies that have not noticed you, it can be really helpful in the randomizer to just like farm a bit of gold and a bit of skill off of them. See, now we've got like 6 points of skill, and that'll be
Nice.
helpful while we are trying to find, you know, the Mercury counter.
Are you gonna
It'd be a
end up
nightmare to try and find it without
after?
enough
Are we
skill
gonna
points.
skip the Blazing Bull?
Yeah, I think we are. Just because I don't have the Mercury counter, it's like it would be so hard to fight it at this point that like I don't see the point, you know?
Yeah, and honestly,
I
Seven
think we're
Spears
just gonna go
deserves it.
completely all the way around.
And he could technically have a pretty important item, right?
He could, and we would find out, right? But I think he probably counts as part of leaderless Ashina. But maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
that's right.
I've been wrong before, and it was painful. But I think once we fight Genichiro, we would find his items in the bin, you know?
That is okay.
Okay, so let me. How many prayer beads do I have right now? Don't even remember. Let's check. Yes, we have enough. Okay, we're also gonna remember that this guy has additional prayer beads. Does he have any prosthetics that are reasonably priced? No. Those are very
Ouch.
expensive.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay, so we probably won't go ahead and buy anything else except for a light coin purse to keep our money together.
So do the
And then we're gonna go run and get to the other side of that gate that we were meant to open just by killing Spear Guy.
so do the coin
See, this
purses
was a
like
lot of
allow you to get even more money? Like, so is it like progressive? You can't just like hold like 1 million of whatever currency that is. You have to have like the purse for it.
So
Sorry, I missed the question.
it's more like a bank. So you have
Okay.
your current money. If it's sitting in your pocket and you die, then a bunch of it falls out of your pocket.
Gotcha.
And if you decide to tie it up in these convenient little purses, then it will not fall out of your pocket when you die.
That is
Okay.
And then
convenient.
you just open the purse back up whenever you want to spend it.
Totally.
Is there any
That's
drawback to the
cluster.
coin purses at all?
What?
Is there any drawback to
Right.
buying those coin purses at all?
I mean, there's like a slight amount of money, like lost, right? Because you
Oh,
have
I
to
see.
like,
You still have to buy it, yeah.
yeah, and like, there's like a tiny tax to it, right?
Oh, okay.
Oh, hello.
You are
Let me
not
on
the
fire. That
general
was
that's
rude.
normally here.
It's definitely not the general that's normally here.
General
Okay.
Sen-Un, how about that?
He's a general. What a promotion.
It's really nice that
Okay.
they have relaxed on the uniform stuff as well, you know?
Okay, we gotta talk to this guy. If we don't talk to that guy, we don't get him, I don't think, as a merchant later. And he can have key items. Oh gosh. Doggos? Lightning danger doggos? Excuse me?
Hello, everyone.
Oh man. Oh, this is a bad. Can we?
What is
excuse me?
that?
There's
that lava?
flamethrowers, there's lightning dogs.
Look, okay. This is all very safe. I don't know what you're talking about,
Welcome
Angel.
to spooky season, everybody. There's a lot of monsters everywhere, and just wow. There was a lot of elements on the screen.
Yeah, that was a bit chaotic. Like, unusually chaotic, I think.
We're here for it.
The rooster made his way all the way back up here.
This mini boss
Okay.
might be the one that makes me
gosh.
the most uncomfortable.
It's like the worst part of
mean,
Edward
physically.
Scissorhands.
Everything about him is just concerning.
Oh,
What?
you. One of the people from the other area followed me.
Oh, and you used it
Okay, we're
against
gonna use it.
That was wonderful.
Nope, we're not gonna use it. All right. We're gonna take this carefully this time. We're gonna actually kill this mini boss because it just seems worthwhile. They normally. So I guess I should explain my strategy with mini bosses, and that's just that. When I know that I can kill one, even if it'll take a little bit extra time, I'm going to do it. Just because they might have something important.
Yeah,
This guy, I
totally.
think, normally has a prayer bead.
Yeah, and there's also the chest right there as well.
Yeah. Well, and I can open that chest right now if I really needed to. For instance, all right, Mr.
Expertly
Bird,
done.
please no.
The chickens are terrifying in
Please
this
no,
game.
Mr. Bird.
Everything is terrifying in this game.
Go
let's
away,
be real.
chicken.
Even roosters can seriously do a murder to you.
I think every speedrunner has had at least one run ended by a chicken before.
Broke my posture, rude. There we go.
And these guys, when they're on their own, they're kind of nice. So you get to just mash parry.
Just take a quick sip of my Sunny D. It's not really Sunny D.
It's the Baja Blast in this game.
It is the Baja Blast.
There we go. Got him.
Excellent.
GG.
Ooh, firecrackers.
Firecrackers. Okay. Best prosthetic
That
in the
was
game
worth
right
it.
there.
They're like my favorite prosthetic tool. Josh, do you have a favorite?
Because, I mean, in terms of usefulness, like, the firecrackers get used everywhere in the speedrun, and they have a special place in my heart because of that. But I
Yeah.
honestly, I like the umbrellas. I think they
Really?
might be my favorite. It's close.
I mean, I think they're useful. They definitely helped me get through Gunfort the first time.
They also kind of just feel so out of place because of the fact that it's a game all about, you know, precise parrying and finding windows of opportunity, and then they just give you a shield.
Yeah. They're like, maybe you would like this shield. Oh no.
Hello, Miss Noble.
No.
Hi.
Do
Or Palace
not.
Noble.
Goodbye.
Oh. He
So-
was trying to like suck the life out of me.
Technically, there is a way to survive the enfeeblement.
Is
And
there really?
it's if you kill the noble while you're enfeebled.
How do you even?
The attack animation is terrible and slow, but they put it in there, so
So technically, there's a way.
it is,
All right.
yeah, big, bold, technically.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the dilapidated temple. We're gonna turn in the prosthetic tools so that we can find out. Well, so we already got one skill point, but we didn't talk to the sculptor. He has 2 key items that he can potentially give. One is for the first skill point, one is for the first 3 prosthetic tools. Okay, so it's Senpo esoteric text. That might be where Armakiri is. I'm so not used to the voices in English. Normally I play in Japanese.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Voice acting's very different.
My personal favorite.
Ooh.
Wait, what was that?
It was a memory.
Oh, very nice. Thank you, old man.
Very kind of you, sir.
Yes.
I also love that he tells you not to do anything funny with the kind-faced Buddha. Like, what do you think I'm gonna do to it? Like,
He knows your kind, hell. He knows the shenanigans that you get up to with the kind-faced Buddha.
Well, now
He
we
knows
have
that
to do
we're-
something. Like,
well, I mean, there's a bell. We can potentially give it an offering if we find the bell, right? If we don't find the bell, then we're not gonna do anything to the Buddha.
I see.
All All right, this is also a pretty chaotic area, so we'll maybe get a little bit quiet while I
Let's see
focus on
the
it.
other side of the door. The suspense. Oh gosh, hello,
Okay,
sir.
no nobles.
It seems like the nobles
That's
are
the first thing I always check. Oh no,
the scariest thing.
danger doggo.
Because you really can't just simply run away from the nobles, right?
No, I don't think you can. I think you basically have to take care of them.
Some secret
So in
walls.
quite the same way as, sorry?
Some secret walls here. Lovely.
Yeah.
Just casual
In
secret
quite the same
walls.
way as Bloodborne and Dark Souls, while you are interacting with a door or a chest or anything like that, you can't be harmed.
Oh, nice. Iframes while you open a door.
Very nice of
Yeah.
From Software to do that.
Yeah. It's also one useful thing that's extra in Sekiro. Oh gosh, is that while you're death blowing somebody, you also cannot be harmed.
Nice.
I just missed the death blow, so we'll see. Make it to this idol. I like this idol because you can go 3 directions from here, and there's several different item pickups that you can do from here. So let's check out that other book. Okay, so there's you see how there's 2 blue tiers right after this first one? That's why it's worth it.
Hey, look at that.
We got.
So the blue, you know that it can be the Makiri counter if it's blue then?
Yeah. So the colors do actually.
Okay,
like,
that's very cool. So that's how you
correspond to
knew
what they're
that the
supposed
other
to be.
one didn't have Makiri counter. I see.
Yeah, it's normally in the first tier. Let's see who's in here.
Oh, hello, Chained Ogre. This is the wait. I can't tell which Chained Ogre this is actually.
I can't tell either, but we're gonna do a meme. Y'all ready for a meme? Let's go.
Yes.
He's so mad.
He can't get us. He's too tall.
Oh no!
Oh no,
Oh,
he's
poor
the-
guy.
Too tall.
Poor guy. You must be this short.
He
Andrew.
just bonks his forehead on the top of the. Oh no!
Oh, he got me.
Oh, see, you were making fun of him.
Oh my
You were
god!
making fun of him.
Yeah, definitely not making fun of him ever. I had to let him get a hit in, otherwise he would just feel sad. Come closer, sir. See? Now he feels better.
Out of courtesy, a courtesy hit.
Basically.
Gotta give him a couple for free. Just to apologize, you know.
You know, I feel bad. He can't do anything to us. There we go. So that's phase 1. I think normally with both Chained Ogres, you can actually, what's the word? You can actually get a stealth kill on them for the first health bar.
Yeah.
So to be fair, I should have already had that one.
Yeah, true. So you get one for
Got me.
free. Oh, Ogre.
Owie.
He's like, get out of there.
He's like, excuse you, get out of that room. I can't go in there. This is not a fair fight, madam. To be fair, I would basically be doing the same thing regardless of this wall situation.
Right.
He hits you with the meme attack. Oh man. That's
Yeah,
just
it's all right.
classic Chained Ogre.
Yeah, it's what he does, sir.
That grab is a big meme for pretty much all speedrunners. No matter how experienced you are in the game, that one will hit you from time to time.
Welcome to
he's
WWE,
kind of-
except like you can't go past like this wall.
He's like a necessary like early boss, right? So he normally stands where Mist Noble was, that really easy pushover palace guy.
Excuse me, I think you mean the hardest boss in the game.
Oh yeah, sorry. Excuse me. You're right. He's definitely the hardest boss in the game. All right. Ooh, a gourd seed. Good. Good. What else have we got? So we got an extra heal. And then ghosts once lurked in the lands of a late game location. The ghost lightning was that of the Fountainhead gods. Unstoppable by normal means. Defeat a mini boss, find the dragon's tears.
Okay,
If we're looking for divine dragon's tears.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Hal. I have no idea what that means.
It's okay, that's what I'm here for.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that means that we're looking in the hidden village, right?
Oh, because the ghost. Okay,
the place
ghost.
is
Okay.
full of ghosts. On the way to Mibu. That place. You know. All right,
Got
so
there
I'm gonna
eventually.
take a quick look. Okay, I'm gonna go for this one because I want Descending Carp and Ascending Carp if I can get them both. That would be lovely. All right, so now that we've killed him, we have free access to the roof. I'm not gonna take that right now. I'm actually gonna go through the center of the castle. I'm gonna open this door for us. This door will stay open in the next act of Sekiro. So once we defeat whatever's on top of the castle, ma'am, no thank you.
They have vision like they have like 20/20/20 vision.
I know, right? It's okay. I'm gonna open this chest and then she can't hurt me anymore. Oh no, I'm out of chest. Okay. Get out of there.
Yeah, those iframes are
Open this door.
very handy.
Excuse you.
I'm glad that they decided to bring them back after they took them out from the best Souls game, aka
Yeah.
Dark Souls 2.
It's fine. Everything's fine here. Let's not worry about it. It's fine.
I'm not worried.
Oh, I'm out of... I didn't rest.
No more Baja Blast.
Fine. Yeah, I don't have any Baja Blast. Man. How will I speedrun without Baja Blast?
No.
Okay. Oh, he's got a gourd seed.
Oh my.
See, now this is why we bank coins, because now I can pop a coin thing and have extra coins. There we go. I don't know why. I always feel compelled to turn away from the merchant when I pop the coins.
Well, it's just like you don't want to fan out your money in front of them.
So long.
I guess.
Be polite.
Can't let them see how much you actually have.
Yeah, because then
gonna raise
I
its
guess the
prices.
price will change, maybe.
Oh yeah, that will go up a couple digits.
All right. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do there. I just wanted to pick up the item. Grab and jump are, or grab and check for items are adjacent to each other.
Oh gotcha.
They're the same thing, just depending on where you're facing, and that is problematic.
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's like a context-based interact button. It makes for a lot of memes.
Yeah.
There are times where
It can be painful.
maybe you'll go to try to pick up an item on the edge of a wall and you'll instead drop down and hang from the wall a dozen times before you pick up the item.
Yeah, it's not fun.
One of
Right.
the most fun ways to
Is that-
lose time.
All right, we got a danger doggo, and a lizard, and a guy. Kill the danger doggo because he's the most dangerous. Yeah, honestly, they can shoot lightning
They can literally shoot lightning.
out of their faces. It's dangerous. That's why I call them danger doggos.
Good doggo.
Except for when you're shooting lightning.
Oh my gosh, the cricket took a swipe
Hello.
at you.
Oh no, a cricket. I'm so scared.
The second hardest
Wow,
enemy.
Quaking.
you're so fast at swimming.
Yeah,
Just like,
it's kind of incredible.
wow.
This could be the one game in history where they gave you a fast swim animation.
Oh, right?
Honestly, from not really doing like jumping or like any verticality before this, and not really giving us like swim options or anything, I think they did a great job with Sekiro with the movement and stuff. I mean, it's a little buggy, but it's kind of cool.
It's very
Just
cool, yeah.
wanted to give you a heads up on the timer. We are about 50 some odd minutes, 55 minutes. So we wanted to take a break around an hour. So whenever you find a good spot, we can pause and do a little break arena whenever.
All right. I will go for this one last item. Then we can take a break.
Awesome. I gotta say, Angel, I very much approve of your use of Areno there.
Yeah, I did that for you, you know?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna homeward to our last communed idol, and that'll be a safe place.
Cool.
We'll give up control as soon as this load is done. Okay, 3, 2, 1, pause.
All right, with that, everyone, we're gonna take a short break. Get up, stretch, stay hydrated, and we will be right back with more Sekiro Shadows Die Twice Randomizer. Hey everyone,
Hello.
welcome back. My name is AirAngel, and we are here with Game Masters. Before we hop back right into Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, I just want to remind everyone that the GDQ Sum of Best segments is now launched on YouTube. It's a highlight channel with regular videos like our main channel, but with small highlight reels for all of our main events and hotfix. Make sure to check that out. And with that, Hell, welcome back. Yo, Josh Reno, welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, if you want to give us a countdown and we'll start back up again.
Yep. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, let's go.
All right, so how are you feeling so far for the first hour?
I'm feeling okay.
Yeah.
I think what we're gonna do now is go toward Mibu Village. Because I think we have a decent like hint in that direction. That I picked up the hidden valley, like the with the ghosts, right?
Yeah, it said something about ghosts. And that's a
Yeah, so
very
I
spooky
think-
place.
I think it's time to go that way.
Are you thinking that you'll have to go all the way down, or do you think you're going to Hidden Forest and
I don't know, and it's hard to like predict beforehand.
yeah.
We'll see what we can see.
Oh, hello. Wombo combo.
Well then, they were the worst, don't you think? Sometimes our hosts are unkind.
I'm also loving this idea that Seven Spears is still waiting for you to come back, and he's totally oblivious to everything going on behind him.
Yeah, he's like, why isn't she here? I miss her.
Or he's like thrilled because he's like, another job well done.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. He's like,
He has no
I
idea.
repelled the shinobi, it's no big deal now. Like, oh no.
Okay.
Okay, that's a bad spot for a Shichiman warrior. Let's not say we didn't.
I think these guys, along with Headless, may be some of my least favorite enemies.
Yeah, I think they're pretty bad.
And they're practical jokers and throw their little ghosty orbs all over the place and shoot lasers.
Oh, like any second now, I'm expecting that that huge amount of, like, you know, where they shoot the giant laser beam
Yeah.
with badness.
And the one that actually goes through walls, like, you know, just a...
Oh no.
Oh, another one. Hello. Wow.
Okay, well, at least this one, we can definitely death blow this one. For sure. Let's go. Let's do it. I mean, there's
That's a
another
nice
way
start.
into Mibu Village if we can't get this guy.
Oh,
And I just picked
There
up
he
some
goes,
task
teleporting away.
agents, so yeah. So, like, this arena is not bad for having them, honestly, because it's so small.
yeah, nice that he can't really get away. That is a classic meme. Him just blocking and teleporting away.
Yeah, it's what they do. Oof.
And to
thank
update chat, someone asked about the Hidden Valley and if the ghost brought chicken nuggets, and it doesn't look like there are any chicken nuggets here. Sorry, chat.
Oh no. What are we gonna do with all this Hidden Valley?
How will we ever survive? Okay, so that's that fight. He was fortunately for us in a very good spot. Like if you're gonna have a Shichiman warrior, I feel like that's the spot to do it.
Oh, I wonder what's in his usual spot then.
I don't know. We're gonna we're gonna rest first so that we get our second resurrection back. And then we'll go find out. What's here?
It's Lone Shadow.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
They swapped.
They just swapped places.
places.
Well, how about that? The Lone Shadows are so hard to fight, but they still remain one of my favorite enemies.
Really?
Yeah, I love fighting these guys.
You like them? I don't know anybody who likes them.
For me, it's the 4-part combo that I love to parry.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
It's just one of those bosses that feels very satisfying to nail down.
Yeah, I feel that. There's definitely bosses that I am most satisfied by beating.
At the same time, they have ended many, many runs for me.
Yeah, I was about to say there's like a love-hate relationship with some bosses. Like sometimes when it goes really well, it feels really good, but you know there's gonna be a run killer somewhere.
Yeah, and like some bosses are that love-hate relationship, like you said, where it's like this is a really hard boss, but I love fighting them, and you know, Ishin falls into that category, and you know, for me, these guys do. And then there are some bosses that they're just hate. And for that, that's the Headless.
Oh man, I just can't stand them.
And no, Headless doesn't ever get any easier.
I fought them once in my first ever playthrough, and then I just never again. So I should say that the Headless will never have required items in the way that this randomizer is set up. That's why I'm not fighting them.
That's nice.
Not required.
It seems like there's a lot of like you can customize this randomizer like basically to however you want to play it. It's really
There's
convenient.
so many options, and it's very, very wonderful. The fifth Matt who made this randomizer did just an awesome job, and I think that the community has really helped a lot with fleshing out what the options should be.
And he took so much community feedback too. It was so, I mean, and did it very quickly. It was really impressive.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It like, so Sekiro, its like main criticism, I think, from a lot of FromSoft fans is that it doesn't have like a lot of customization options, right? You are this guy, right? You can't be anybody else.
Yeah, you can't break out an
Right.
ultra great sword or pyromancies or any of that stuff.
Right. But I think one thing that the Sekiro randomizer like really gives back to Sekiro is some of the you know, the memes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives it the replay value that it was missing, I feel like.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Let's
noticed
see if there's actually.
you got the shelter stone off of the Lone Shadow back there, which is
I
super
did.
important. That's like necessary to progression, right?
Yeah, so you need the shelter stone, you need what's the word? What's the word that I'm looking for? Lotus of the Palace, who Chibex put that onto Kuro's socks
Yes, the sock flower.
earlier. Yes, the sock flower. You see.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
chat,
gonna gotcha.
chat is asking if we picked up the Makiri counter yet.
We did.
Yep.
We did pick up the Makiri counter.
The sculptor very kindly gave it to us.
He gave us a book that had it in it. So, who is it?
Yes, I need Lotus socks like
Oh.
right now.
Is this like Tokajiro? No,
It's
it's Juzo. That's right. Oh, he's in the
Okay.
poison.
It
He's
was
in the poison. Just stick that guy in the poison. No big deal.
Oh, having the stealth death blow there is so nice.
Yeah. That's I gotcha sugar there no matter who you know, like I have no idea who it is. So just start out with a gotcha sugar. Makes your life a lot easier. I don't know whether Juzo can get poisoned because he normally spits poison at you.
Oh.
Yeah,
So we're
it
gonna
would
find
stand to
out.
reason that he had some level of immunity.
Right. That's what I would think. But
This strat is really nice, by the way, of getting the death blow, going around and picking up the items and taking out the other enemies, and just
thank you. I kind
letting
of
him chill.
came by it honest. I panicked the first time I ever got to poison pool in a randomizer because I was like, oh no, what if the thing is not susceptible to poison?
Right.
It was not susceptible to poison, and my normal strat in this arena is really just let it be poisoned.
He seems to be loving it so far.
Yeah, he's
But-
just vibing. Look at him.
He's trying to get you though. This
He is. Here we go. Let's go.
And Juzo is one of the harder enemies in this game for sure. Even when compared with bosses, I feel like.
Ah. Got me that time. Get away. I'm gonna go take care of this other little enemy.
Really nice of them for, to the most part, they've been leaving y'all alone.
Ow.
It's super nice.
Yeah. I think the villagers are too afraid to do anything about this, honestly. They're just like, you know what? Stay over here. It'll be fine.
They don't know how they got here. They're used to hanging out in their village.
Yeah, they're just like, whatever. This is fine.
Is he like stuck on this thing over here,
I think so. Maybe.
sir?
Ooh. I got grabbed.
Oh, the stomp. It's
Owie.
just that like Juzo is so punishing. Where like if anything, you know, if he breaks your
Anything goes
block,
wrong.
then he kills you. If he grabs you, he kills you. He's a hard hitter and he has a lot of health.
I'm gonna go for
What a
the
bully.
extremely safe strat of watching to see if he gets poisoned.
And you know what? There's 3 other copies of him in the game too.
I know, it's awful, honestly.
And
They're
one
so
of them
tough.
has armor on too.
What? Yeah. Sir.
It's like three dudes wasn't enough. Oh, I see. Yeah, because he really didn't hang out in the poison all that much while you were running around.
No, he didn't. I kind of want to
So-
see, just like for the memes, is it possible?
Yeah, plus with the, you know, he took your revive.
He did. And I don't want to have to do all of that again.
Yeah.
Like I can, but we'll lose time that way, so. Of course, we lose time doing it this way too. But the memes.
And also, you know, safe strats are good strats.
All right, we're running away.
It's really funny because it almost looked like he was gonna get his head stuck on the little tent over there, or the lean-to, or whatever you call it. Like,
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna have another ogre situation there for a second.
So I've had that same thing happen with Blazing Bowl, actually.
Oh, really?
The thing that happened with Ogre. In that same arena, Blazing Bull can't get to you. I think it's just the like telemetry of that place. You just can't. They're either too small or too tall or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He really does not want to give me this this poison situation.
Sir, come
Come
hang
here,
out in the
my
poison
guy.
for a bit, please.
Please become
Oh.
poisoned, sir.
He is stewing. He is absolutely
He is.
stewing right now.
What did you
He's
do? He's so
angry.
mad.
I made him really mad.
He's mad he doesn't
Look
have
at
a
him.
grappling hook.
Yeah, he's like, if I had a grappling hook, I could.
Oh, there it
Oh.
is.
You can't get poisoned.
But he could spit
Good.
poison?
All right.
Yeah. So now his health is ticking down slowly.
That's nice.
Now you can just
It's helpful.
sit back, relax, and enjoy the.
We're just gonna enjoy some tasty cheese.
Well, while we're waiting for that, Hell, do you want to talk about some games that you play on your channel?
Yeah. So I mean, I like to play hard games. I think that's obvious.
Yeah.
I play a lot of FromSoft games, and I am meaning to go back and play some more because it's been a while since I properly played a From title. I played Demon Souls when it came out on PS5.
Nice.
The remaster, and it was gorgeous, and I loved it. But I kind of want to do like a Souls, like revisit, right?
Yeah.
It's always fun coming back to these games.
Oh gosh, sir.
Oh, he
Would you not?
just let the poison wear off. He tanked
He
it.
did. He did. He
He
tanked
counter
it.
cheesed.
Okay. We're gonna not cheese. We're gonna just fight him. It's gonna be okay. I'm honestly not great at Juzo.
Nobody
be
is.
completely transparent.
He has some hitboxes that are like very punishing.
Wild and ridiculous.
Like some of them feel like they hit twice. Some of them can get around your block and your parry. It's a rough fight.
It's just a hard time sometimes.
The strat on the speedrun is to jumping mortal draw because
Really?
yeah, jumping mortal draw takes care of these guys quick. And you may be wondering, why a jumping mortal draw? And for some reason, From Software was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if mortal draw dealt double damage if you jumped first? And it just does. It just does. We don't know why. They implemented it a few patches in, and that's the speedrun basically. You just jumping mortal draw every boss.
Go figure. You got this.
Will we
Rough
see
time.
a double cheese, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe.
The double poison?
Maybe. Oh. I got rot essence. Oh no.
It always like baffled me that they bring you all the way back here.
It feels weird, but I guess on your first playthrough, like they're trying to explain what happened. So they bring you back to the place where people can explain what happened. Maybe?
Have you all that the how I repeated for
Whoa, Emma's voice. Wow, it's so different. I just realized that we had gourd seeds that I didn't turn in.
That would help so much. Oh my gosh. Get extra
Use-
Ah,
Baja Blast, dude?
Extra Baja
Extra
Blast.
Baja Blast.
I get that Baja
It's
Blast.
important.
Upgraded from a large to an extra large.
Or American medium.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Gorgeous. All right, let's
It's
go.
really interesting because there are bosses that you wouldn't expect to actually be, like, based on where they're placed in the game, you wouldn't expect them to be super difficult. But Juzo, surprisingly, and all of his other iterations are actually some of the hardest bosses in these games. Or in
Yeah.
this game, rather.
You're just
Like the late game one, Shigekichi,
that guy.
he is a monster.
He can seriously knock you out if you aren't careful. All right, please, sir, where are you? Oh, he's in the poison.
Oh, he's in
square.
there.
He's good. Good. That's good. That's what we want. Stay in the
Stay in
poison,
there,
sir.
boy.
He is
Stay
going to be
in
so
there.
stinky after this.
Yeah, he really is. Oh no!
Sir,
Come on,
come back, please.
back in the poison, sir. Sir, come back.
So will we actually see any mortal draw shenanigans on this run?
Probably. I mean, so here's the thing. You have to get Mortal Draw in order to advance at least to the Shura ending, right?
Okay.
Because you need three items. You need the Shelter Stone, which we already have. you need the Lotus of the Palace, and you need Mortal Blade. Without those things, you just can't progress. He's poisoning me.
Oh
He's
my
like,
gosh.
excuse me, you can't poison me without me poisoning you. Thanks.
Here we go.
Yeah, this is very cheesy. Extra cheese. It's okay.
Look, there's no honor in speedrunning, okay?
Well, and honestly, we're running this randomizer fast. There are people who run it even faster than me, obviously. So
Yeah,
I
the
don't know.
races
You're,
have been
you're the
they're
fastest. You're the fastest randomizer player I've ever met. So that's
that's fair. Sir, thank you. Thank you
Look at
for
how stinky
becoming
he is.
poisoned.
You can see the
Just-
stink.
like at that point,
It's coming off of him in waves.
You're so foul that you're like radioactive almost. That where
It's
he gets
pretty
his
harsh.
powers from? Did he just become like? Oh no!
So
He's drinking
His-
more too.
his
Look at this guy.
epithet in the game is Juzo the Drunkard. And so I think canonically that's what he's drinking alcohol.
I guess so.
Sake or something?
It emits poison.
He's not drinking
somehow.
the good stuff.
Yeah, it's clearly not very good alcohol. It's not healthy for you for sure.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't look like a healthy type. It's just spitting
No.
poison and acid. Like that is insult your doctor.
He and
That's
his-
probably severe heartburn. Like,
Yeah, his family members are also not the healthiest. There's what's the other ones? Josh, help me out.
Oh, Tokujiro the Glutton and Shigekichi. I don't know what his title is.
I think he's just of the Red Guard.
Oh yeah, I think you're
honestly.
right. Yeah, but
I think he's not.
his like sin. Like if we're talking about like the various sins like gluttony and stuff like that, his sin is just being a jerk.
he's just
Maybe
a
he's like
jerk.
wrath.
Shigekichi the
Because
jerk.
of all the fire. You know.
We're just renaming the deadly sins, and one of them is jerk.
One of the deadly sins is jerk. Yes.
So like when you're a jerk, that's a deadly sin. There you go.
Yep.
All right, this should be a lot easier. She says.
It's
Kidding.
okay. We got
Get
plenty
him.
of Baja Blast.
Oh gosh. He evaded my firecracker. Excuse you, sir.
The hardest part about this is that all of his attacks, if they are not perfect parried, will break your posture.
Yeah.
And I mentioned earlier how a lot of bosses have a rhythm to him. Juzo does not have a rhythm.
There we go.
Yo, got him.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, we got an esoteric text for our trouble.
Oh, nice.
So that's good. Let's go.
Yo, gabba gabba,
Study up.
goodbye, boy.
You're gonna learn so much.
All right, let's go.
I think
pick
that
up.
may have been the second Tokujiro. Not Tokujiro, Juzo. I'm not sure.
You think so?
It's hard to say actually, just based on the poison damage.
Yeah. It's just a lot. I'm not sure. I mean, I think it would say. I think it would say Tokujiro, but
Because
maybe I'm wrong.
he's in two Harada memories, and the first one, it's Juzo the Drunkard.
Oh yeah,
and
you're right. It could be
he's
Juzo
weaker,
too.
and then Juzo 2 is significantly stronger.
That might be it. That might be why. I've run across him in randomizers before and wondered, like, why is this one so hard? It makes sense that it would be scaled on, like, how difficult it was.
Oh my gosh! And after all of that, we are here.
The place. The place. This is a very dangerous area.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's definitely, safe and lovely, and we're gonna write home to our family that they should come vacation here. All these ghosts.
This is where the chickens on a normal run can really mess you up. There's some very precise parkour you have to do, and the chickens can knock you off the trees. And
Yes.
what's down in the pit below is not friendly.
Oh no, it's extra not friendly. I
So chat
almost fell because
chat is chat is saying the secret ending is we all go out for karaoke with Gayubu.
sounds wonderful. I'm for it.
Let's do it.
Sounds excellent.
We can all ride on his horse. It's big enough for all of us.
Definitely.
Just pile on.
We will all fit.
Do you guys want to go to karaoke? Yeah, I mean, when are we going? I don't know. After we defeat this guy? Oh, yeah, sure.
Whew.
Okay, I'm really interested to see how you're gonna handle the mist and stuff like that. And also, like, who's gonna end up in the dojo?
Who knows? Because we've already seen Red Mist Noble.
That's true. So whenever we've seen somebody, do we see them again, or is it
So
less
it's
likely?
possible, right? If the randomizer can't place, for instance, sometimes that happens when it can't place like a boss, right? Maybe you have the Demon of Hatred thing set, and so then it needs an extra boss because now it's run out of Demon of Hatreds.
Okay, that makes sense.
But sometimes it happens with mini bosses too. Okay, so we got one of the purple guys.
Another lone shadow.
Another lone shadow. It's gonna be lovely, I'm sure. I'm gonna Akko Sugar first. And we're gonna make with a stabby. And hope he's not the kind that calls dogs, because that would be real bad in here.
Oh, that guy is a monster.
Ah, he
has
too has
Akko.
sugar.
He knows the way of the
Not
candy.
allowed, sir.
He has trick-or-treated in
Don't you know?
preparation.
Don't you know that I'm the hero of this anime? And I'm the only one who's allowed to use sugar?
I'm the protagonist.
I'm the hero of this story arc, sir.
Oh my gosh, and the stinky hand.
I know. With the stinky hand. Very rude.
But yes, chat, let us know what song you was sing at karaoke with Sekiro. We need to know.
Lone shadows are like the RNG on the last like 3 mini bosses has
no.
been very mean. Because it was like Lone Shadow, and then it was Juzo, and now it's Lone Shadow again.
I mean, although early on it was kind of nice, right? Like,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
we had, what's her face from the Divine Realm, right? She's
Yeah.
not too bad.
Okami leader.
Yeah. Nope.
But this guy is like super late game.
Yeah, he is. He's a little tough. Just need to refocus, that's all.
But the way that this game works is basically there's 3 times of day that the story progresses through. You start, kind of morning time, and then you go into the sunset, and then it's dark. And as the time progresses, the enemies get harder. It's like a big power spike for the enemies, basically. This guy is from the last of those, so he's from the nighttime area.
Makes sense.
He also actually happens to have armor on, which makes him take a lot less damage.
Well, and I don't have all the things that I would normally have at that later
Yeah, like the
stage.
spear.
Oh, man. No. Okay.
The stinky hand. No.
Stinky hand is the death of me. It's also difficult in this arena because I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been getting caught on these little monk remains
Yeah.
that are in here. You're not really meant to fight a highly mobile boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, typically
In an
the
arena like
boss
that?
that's in there, well, he is the hardest boss in the run, but he doesn't move much. It's usually Miss Noble.
Yeah, he stays still, and all he's got is like a very intense grab. He wants to give you a hug, really.
This guy, he's not about hugs.
He's no.
So
No
as
hugs.
we make our way back, chat has given us some song titles for karaoke.
Okay, let's
We
hear them.
have Take On Me, Total Eclipse of the Heart, Secret Agent
Sounds
Man, The One by Green Day,
That's
I'll
good.
Make a Man Out of You, okay, Hungry Like the Wolf, Blurred Lines,
there you go. That's
that's a
the
good
one.
one.
That's a good one.
Piano Man, another Hungry Like the Wolf. That's pretty much. Oh, we got Jenny from the Block with Jenny from the Block.
Oh, talking about Genichiro.
Yeah,
It's perfect.
Genichiro is brilliant.
Yeah, a lot of good ones, chat.
I actually super love fighting Genichiro. I don't know why.
He's
Just
a
something
good
about
kid,
fighting
you know.
Jenny that feels like home.
Like, he comes across as a bad guy, but he's just trying his best. Okay, here we go, round 2. The problem with these guys is their posture recovery is just very, very, very high.
I'm gonna use the monks as pillars to stand behind.
Oh, you're gonna use them to your advantage.
Defend myself.
Might as well.
Yeah. Oof. Too early on the Makiri.
The other thing is, eventually, you would normally get a second revive.
I have one right now.
Oh, I suppose
It's just
you
that
have
I
to death
can't
blow to
use it.
activate it. That's right.
Yeah.
This man is very rude.
He is.
Bully.
He's coming after me, something fierce.
Something that
Ha!
was always very consistent whenever I was speedrunning games was that the mini bosses were far more likely to end a run than the main bosses.
Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't think it, but the mini bosses don't tend to have the same type of rhythm that the bosses do.
Yeah, I guess they spent more time on the main game bosses. Makes sense. Broke my posture.
That the 4-part kick into the thrust is so hard.
Yeah, it's funny because I can hit the Genichiro 5-part combo like nobody's business, but the Lone Shadows give me so much trouble. That is a lizard that has become one with a tree, folks.
Wow.
What's going on there?
I mean, goals like
I mean, I would like to be a tree, I think.
I mean, you're
Sounds
probably
nice.
better off as a tree than like anybody else in this game at this point.
Yeah.
maybe on the weekends. Could we be trees on weekends? Just hang out.
That's fair.
They're just vibing in
Maybe.
the mist.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down.
I don't know. The mist is kind of evil, Josh. It's got all these ghosts in it. So I think one of the things that we're missing here is that in base game, all of these enemies that are here are like actually ghosts.
Oh yeah.
It's perfect for Halloween hell.
It is. It is. I picked the spookiest part of the game to to have to go to. Definitely. This was all intentional. Yeah.
It was intentional that we picked a spooky game.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Almost as
Full
if it was
circle.
planned.
Oh,
Almost.
huh. Maybe.
Okay. Here we go. I'm
You got
actually
it.
gonna. Yeah, no, we'll do the Akko again. See if we can. Nope.
He
I
was
think
not
he had
amused.
summoning sickness.
Let's
Oh,
go.
There we go. Got him.
Got
But
him.
sometimes you just get the good RNG for,
Yeah. And
for,
also,
like what they're gonna do.
whenever you're in a nice rhythm against an enemy like that, getting out of the rhythm is like so hard because it's so difficult to get back into that.
It's
But
terrible.
that was smooth. That was buttery right there.
Wow. I knew we had to do it. Like, you know, it's time to get serious. I think it was probably more than anything else going from fighting Juzo to fighting this guy that made it so difficult.
Yeah, and that's the randomizer at work there because typically they are nowhere near each other.
Well, and you're fighting other stuff in between. Ooh, ride serpent viscera.
Oh, goody.
Tasty.
Wow, just what I wanted. How did you know?
Is it your favorite, Josh?
Yep,
Should
that's
I,
first item on my Christmas list right there. Serpent viscera. Yep.
I think we already picked up the fresh version, so could have, some jerky for the road and
No, there's enough to go around.
everybody here wants to try some, right?
Totally.
Don't knock it till you try it,
Okay. All right, so this area is kind of wild. Everybody resurrects. They are not actually dead, which is fun.
It's fine.
The beautiful, relaxing Mibu village.
Oh, yeah. Look at the pretty water, though. I mean, there's at least that. That's what it's got going for it. Okay, well, we don't have money for anything else, so I'm gonna just buy snap seeds.
Yeah,
Those can be useful.
it's like if you run into
Depends
a
on
select
who-
couple of enemies, those are just invaluable.
Well, and given that we don't know. Wow,
Hey,
2 mask fragments right next to each other. Given that we don't know who we're gonna see, but I know the kinds of bosses that tend to arrive at the tops of towers, such as the Ashina Castle Tower. Then we could. Ow. Rude.
that's really interesting that they have like tendencies like that. Like that seems like the bosses have preferences.
I mean, I think it has to do with like the size of the arena, the like structure of things,
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, there's definite like places where people like to spawn, and out of the people that can be at the front or at the top of the tower, it's like, you get Ishins, like Sword Saint Ishin will show up there.
Just classic.
Not fun. Let's cross our fingers for not that. 'Cause,
Yeah. You don't want to see Mr. Block Saint Ishin.
but there's also like Gyobu likes to show up there. He's on horseback, like
could
we were
be
saying
anything.
earlier. If he, I hope we get that for the meme of it. There's a noble. We're gonna go straight for him. Ow.
Oh, what?
We're also gonna die in the process.
Oh my god.
It's fine.
That was
The nobles,
bully.
they look so innocent.
And then they like murder you.
And then they
Just
murder you.
really badly.
There's another one.
I hope we don't get enfeebled.
Oh my gosh.
So that's one of the potential wildnesses that can occur there. It's fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's fine.
It was all calculated. Never a doubt in
We're
anyone's
gonna
mind.
not sit down here. We're gonna run away.
Doggo had other plans.
Yeah, I would like to have that idol. Okay.
Hello,
It's exciting.
Ashina Elite of the water.
Huh?
That was good old. That was
With
the red
his
eyes
shiny
one
red
too.
eyes? The nighttime guy, I think.
He's a fun one. They're another one. They're like super satisfying to fight
He's going
until
back
they
to his
do mean
place.
things.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, check out the ghost effect on him. That looks so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. Okay. So we have a choice to make. We could try to get that idol, or we could try to fight him. I think I'm gonna try and fight him. No, I should get the idol to be safe. Normally I would have gotten that idol on the way in here.
Not YOLOing.
Not this time. We've already lost a bit of time to other enemies, and I would rather not.
Oh, this idol. There we go.
Got it. Thank you. Have a nice rest. Get all of our stuff back.
Hell, are you telling me that you don't want to go run by those two Miss Nobles again?
Not really, no. It was only one. He just resurrected.
Oh, they resurrect. That's
do.
right. I forgot you said that. Oh,
It's the
that is
bully
crazy
area.
how that actually applies to all the enemies.
Ow. Excuse you, sir. I was going for a run. Please leave me alone. I'm just out jogging.
Just let me get my cardio, okay? Just leave me
Basically.
alone.
It's what we want. We just want to do our cardio and vibe. That's all. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this guy, which I always do in a randomizer if I can, is I'm going to set up with a Gokan sugar. That way, when he comes for our posture, we won't have to back off. So for him, this
Okay.
is a posture fight. All right, let's go.
So this guy is really interesting because all of his attacks, well, his slashing attacks with his sword, they go through your block. So you have to perfect parry him, otherwise it deals quite a bit of damage. And then he has a couple of scary mix-ups too, as we're seeing.
See, I missed the parry there.
Yeah, dealt about a third of the HP bar. And this one's pure reaction too. You can't even really be aggressive.
You just have to watch. You
GG.
gotta- the secret to it is you gotta get the flash of his like sword is how you know when it's coming.
It's a very
Like-
nice little visual cue.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, don't panic. I'm just a shinobi. just sneaking into
Just
this
inspecting
place.
the village. Don't worry about it.
It's fine. It's fine.
It is a routine inspection of the floorboards.
Look,
And like
sometimes
the
you just
trapdoors
gotta
in the
check them
floor,
out.
Like,
Nothing to see here. Oh, my
heck
goodness.
yeah.
that like
Hello,
really
Mortal
good
Blade.
weapon.
Yes. So that's one of the 3 items that we need in order to end this thing.
I don't know.
So that's cool.
That is a speedrunner's favorite weapon right there.
Yeah, we'll set up with it in a second. I am actually going to go back to the idol, make sure that I have full complement for whatever this boss is. There could be something terrible back here. Could be Guardian Ape.
Oh,
Well, I guess
which I've seen
I guess
there
we're
quite a
like
lot.
limiting the amount of bosses that are left. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going through areas. We're making it harder for there to be new spawns. So see if there's any skills that we can. Yeah, okay, let's get carp. Is there anything else? Oh, we have prayer beads. That's useful. That
is
gives us
very
more
nice. Look at that,
vitality
yeah.
and posture.
That would have been pretty nice
that's
against
great.
the Lone Shadow for sure.
Yeah, I know. If only I don't think I had enough. I think we just picked up
I
that
think so,
parade.
yeah. I think the Ashina Elite
So
gave it to
let's-
you
Okay.
very kindly.
Yeah. It was I asked for it nicely and he said, "Sure. I will die for you to have that."
That's actually that's one of the few enemies I feel like I would rather see here than Orin.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like Orin, but her fight is slow for me because I spend a lot of time like carefully setting up
I see.
for it.
Orin is classically one of the final bosses that I fought on
there.
my speedruns. Oh hey, it's Grandpa Ishin.
Hey, sir. You like? Oh, he dodged it.
His torso
How
is
rude.
so long.
So this is the second time we're seeing Mr. Ishin.
Yeah, like I said, that can happen when you change up the rules of the randomizer. So, like, we can't have Demon of Hatred. So the game says Ishin instead.
Oh yeah, so it replaces with a double of something.
Yeah.
He was not satisfied with simply cutting off your arm.
No, he really needed to smash my face a little bit. I think what we're gonna do here is single try him. If we defeat him, that'd be great. Oh gosh, no sir, none of that.
Oh my.
No grabbies.
Say what you will about Grandpa Ishin, but he looks very comfortable, you know?
I mean,
He does.
He's got his
just
priorities in
wearing-
order.
It's like looks like a silky outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got his nice pajamas on.
they look cozy. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right. Grandpa, can you let me? Thank you. Phase 1, let's go.
Got him.
Surely phase 2 isn't any harder than that, right? Nothing changes.
In casual fire.
Definitely nothing fiery happening here. No, nope.
No Charmanders
Definitely
here, no
fine.
siree.
Yeah, welcome on in chat. This is Hell Has Some Fury with fire.
Oh no,
So if y'all
no.
are not familiar with this boss, this is the boss from the bad ending. And usually you only see him if you choose to be a big jerk. That looked normal.
Yikes. We almost got caught in that. Okay, we're doing all right.
You got this.
The other version of Ishin that we can see is supposedly Ishin in his prime. Let's go, GG.
You got him.
Hey,
Personally, I find this guy harder.
really?
Yeah.
Again, I'm gonna have one of those moments where I'm like, what? Like it's hard.
Hell is just, she's
I mean,
a gamer.
this whole game just looks impossible for me to play. So it's just like really awesome to
We got
watch
a
you
memory.
just kick it in the butt.
I was most impressed by you parrying the flurry attack.
Really?
That was amazing.
Like, I can't get over that because, like, honestly, like, I just learned to parry that, and I was like, oh, cool. It does a lot more posture damage to him than it does to me. So
She's parrying all of these
That's
impossible
strat.
attacks.
Casually. Game
you
master.
know, like you do.
No one has ever
Okay, so we
parried
got a
that
prayer
before.
bead. It's almost like I play this game a lot.
It's almost like she's a game master.
Weird.
Weird.
Oh, they said the name of the
It's
show.
like the title.
Oh man, new circle.
Oh, fantastic.
had
Okay,
to do it.
I mean, we didn't find the dragon's tears, but let's go fight whatever's at the top. I'm trying to be mindful of time.
Oh man,
here.
I've been waiting for this.
I think it's gonna be great, whatever it is. I'm gonna go from the dojo because we already cleared out all of the castle, so I meant to go there in the first place, and sometimes I just lose it.
So, as a quick check-in, we've got the Mortal Blade, we've got
Yep.
the Shelter Stone.
Yes. So we need.
We don't have the flower yet, do we?
No, we need the Lotus of the Palace.
Okay.
Those are the 3 items required for a sure ending. If we wanted to go for a better ending, it is Kyoto.
Who? Gyobu.
Amazing.
Face me.
What are you
Yeah,
doing
the
here, sir?
Why did you bring
I
the
was
horse in
hoping.
the house?
I was hoping that we would
They had
end up with.
they had to airlift him up here.
Oh my god. Welcome to this randomizer, everyone, featuring horse in the building.
Horse on top of the roof, if we're honest. Like, how did he get here? Inquiring minds desire
And he
to
is
know.
running around with complete reckless abandon. He does not care that he is on top of a hundreds-foot tall tower. This
Wow.
might be my favorite meme from the randomizer so far. This is
It's gorgeous.
I wonder,
You love to see it.
you kind of wish it would just like fly off, you know? Like, alright, GG's. Like, how
So
is
the
this building
unfortunate thing about the
structurally sound
randomizers-
for a horse?
I know. There can be. Oh, here we go. That was so fast.
Go get him.
Speed.
Well, we got kind of shoved into a corner there, and that was bad. But
Oh, it's
the Mortal Blade version of Jenny from the block.
Wait,
This-
is this
this
the
is,
same?
you know-
Is this the same boss?
it's random, but with an
Uh,
asterisk.
So kinda. So the one that we fought from earlier is actually the one that should be here right now.
Gotcha.
This is the end game version of that boss.
Gotcha. Like, where?
And he's practically the same
go?
boss. Except he has this attack. He's got the other Mortal Blade.
Come on, guys. It's obviously a Skyrim breed of horse. Sure,
This explains everything.
everything.
Oh, the Mortal Blade attacks are so pretty.
Okay, there we go. Oh, we actually got Gyobu's memory.
How about that?
Like, from fighting Gyobu.
That's so appropriate.
That's like breaking the fourth wall.
It never happens though. Like, that's wild.
It feels like the randomizer is actually intelligent sometimes. And it's and
see
it just
that.
like has a little fun with us.
Okay. I'm gonna go talk to Kuro.
Sounded
We have
like
to do a
an
dance
Animal
with Kuro.
Crossing.
So,
For you.
so that entire time we were
Yes.
separated from Boy.
You did well to come here.
Now we are back
Let us
with
go.
Boy.
We
Yeah,
must
made
I was,
leave.
about, I was about to say, like, where is he? Where's he been?
Cannot put that.
Yeah. So that entire time he's been kidnapped.
He was
Oh,
kidnapped
what?
by Gyobu, apparently. It's the new lore.
Yes. Normally it'd be Genichiro, but
It's an ancient wreck. Yes,
but
I will.
Wow.
this time
It
no.
belonged to
Gyobu.
a-
Also, I love when
Is
he
there
says,
something
"Hey, take a
special
look at
about
this text,"
I'm
and then he
told
hands
that
you some
long ago
sugar.
there was this heat
Like-
gatherings
So
are
good.
supposed that will-
The randomizer really does like make some stuff seem very silly.
I want Kuro to give us a thumbs up like
Now
Chubex
I will
drew at the beginning of the show. That's all I want
Yeah.
now. I want Kuro to be like, "You're doing a good job, Wolf. Thank you."
I think
No, thank
that
you.
would be
Kuro.
brilliant, honestly. That would be great.
So I have no idea how like the logic of the game goes from here because we already have the things that Kuro sends us to go get.
So we need to get one more before the like next phase will start. Until we find the Lotus.
I see.
won't
Okay.
start. And then
According to the
as soon as we
divine child
leave
of
this
any
place,
origin,
like permanently, we'll have trouble. But like here, he already gave us the dialogue that he gives you when you have the mortal blade, because we already have it. So
It just nothing makes sense anymore.
Yeah, go
we
figure.
still have to ask him where it is, though. That's one of my favorite parts, is that like despite like him being like, oh, you found the mortal blade, we have to ask him like, hey, where's the mortal blade?
Keep in mind,
it
this is
won't
after
advance.
you just killed him. It's nice to see that there's no hard feelings there.
Yeah, he's not upset at me at all. I
Are
just
you mad? No.
I just knocked him out a little
He
bit.
even gave you
but
some
it's
sake
fine.
there, didn't he? Well,
Yeah.
he said he gave
Yeah,
you
he
sake.
did.
I don't know what he actually gave you, but
He gave me scrap magnetite.
same thing.
Yeah, that's the
Uh-huh.
same thing as sake. Right? Okay, so this is our last hint. Found a forbidden spirit fall. I've checked a lost village. Search for treasure there. So that was our hint to go to Mibu.
Oh,
Amazing.
well, done and done.
We were just smarter than the game for a minute and went there first. Okay, so let's talk to Kuro. Actually, you know what?
You get a thumbs up after you bring back the socks he sent you to get.
Yes.
Did you?
Wait.
I did. A small.
Oh, what if you've later?
It occurs to me that I need to check the merchant. If that, so that thing behind him is a key item slot. In the unlikely event that it is the flower.
Oh, that
we
would be
might
something else.
Get locked out of here. It would be really bad.
It would be.
I would not like to see that.
It would be very funny though. He's like, hey, go
would
get
be
this flower,
extremely
please. And
funny.
it's literally right behind him on the ground.
Can you imagine asking somebody like, hey, can you risk life and limb to go get me this flower?
I would be so mad at
And then
him.
it turns out that it's like right behind you.
He's like, oh, wait, no, there it was. Oh, yeah, my bad.
Oh, sorry, I just, it's embarrassing. Also, we picked up the bell for Harada.
Oh,
Maybe we should
my.
Harada?
I will be honest with
Might be
you. I'm a
worth
bit
it.
biased. It is my favorite area in the game.
Is it really?
Yes.
So that's the funny thing that we can do with the Buddha. That's the guy said don't do anything funny. We're offering it a bell.
He wasn't talking about taking it on merry hijinks, I guess.
I guess. I mean, we're gonna go back in time, so that's a whole thing. I have so many skill points because we killed Ishin that I didn't spend them. Let's see. What do we got? We might go this way because that's mid-air combat arts.
Oh,
Here.
the enabler of the jumping mortal draw.
We'll see if I can do that. I don't like. I'm gonna be honest with you. In my base game playthroughs, I hardly ever use mortal draw because I feel like it's OP,
It absolutely is. Yeah.
and I don't have as much fun.
It certainly trivializes the game, so I respect that. You haven't abused it too much.
Yeah. Well,
it's
and I'm also used to playing without a lot of these things.
Yeah.
You know, problem with randomizers is that they give you the bad habit of thinking that you don't have anything ever. Which is maybe a good habit sometimes, right?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I have nothing, therefore things won't be too easy, too hard, whatever.
That's nice to see that the carps are not randomized as well, because otherwise it
Yeah,
would just
I
be
think
a heck of
the
a
score is randomized,
treasure hunt.
though. That carp is angry. There is it wasn't working. What I'm trying to say. Okay, so we have that. If we could get one more carp scale, we could get a divine grass, and that would be worth it. I don't know.
What does the divine grass actually do? I know it heals you to full.
It heals you to full, and
Hey, there you go. What are the odds?
I was just gonna go back into the Harada state, but sure. We'll take that. It heals you to full, and it gives you also your posture back.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a
It's just a free
full heal for everything. It's very useful if you happen to have it.
But yeah,
I haven't needed to use it
well,
in any of the boss fights.
hopefully, fingers crossed, we won't have to.
Yeah. It's good to have though, like as an option. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something about the rainy village at Harada Estate is just it's very nice. I have such a soft spot for rain in video games.
Really?
Yeah.
It's soothing. I love the rain in Stardew Valley. I think that the
Oh, same.
sound of it.
Well, it's also like
It's
an extra
very-
level of detail that like I would think would be sort of incredibly difficult to code in some areas because it's just like it can't sort of be raining consistent depending where you're at.
Yeah. Oh gosh. All right. No. No stabby. Not nice.
Hey, you're not supposed to be here. It's a dragon of old. Hello, friend.
All right. There's a few potential important items around the fireplace, so we're gonna check. The reason I took that death blow is I heard there was somebody behind me, and I did. Ooh, a divine grass.
Oh, very nice.
We just got done talking about how like useful that is. Okay, all right. Hello, everyone. A Sakura droplet.
So
Josh.
that's a revive, right?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
It's an extra dot. That's the third
Very nice.
third dot.
Yeah,
So we
look
can
at that.
revive 3 times.
That is so good.
Right. Let's do a quick stab here.
These guys are not the most observant, huh?
Yeah, no, I walked up right behind him. I bumped into him a little bit, and he still didn't vibe. Still didn't even notice me. It's fine. I'm only a little bit upset that he didn't notice me.
What is that? A great white whisker. I have no idea what that is.
So it happens when you kill the carp. Have you never killed the
I've never killed a carp.
boss carp guy?
That's the funny thing about my experience with speedrunning is that I did my very first playthrough of the game, and then I immediately started speedrunning the game. And so as far as like side quests and lore and stuff like that, I know about some lore, but mostly I know the script that I learned to get through the game fast.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I think a lot of oh, hello. Another
Heck yes.
memory. That's wonderful.
It was worth coming here for the Sakura droplet and the memory alone.
Yeah, tons of goodies.
Worth it.
Oh. Not even close.
That was a close one.
Not even close.
I was a little worried. My hair was starting to turn gray. Who have we got? Got 2 generals.
Oh, wait a second. This is like,
Meta.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
this is a really rude group of enemies here.
Yeah, I don't think this is worth it. It was worth it to come here so far, but
Perhaps
like,
it's
you could
time
stealth
to
this
get your
out.
goodies and get out.
yeah, I think we should run.
And just
be
as
honest with
a
you.
heads up on time, we are creeping up on 2 hours soon. So whenever you have a good place to stop the break, just
All right, I am gonna actually little homeward idol. We're gonna go to the dilapidated temple idol, and then I'll count us out when we get there.
well,
We are creeping up on a possible ending here.
Yeah, we really just need to find that lotus, but we didn't have any hints about where the lotus is. We only have
Yeah, there's a lot of
hints
possibilities
for-
at this point.
Yeah, there are. We have a lot of memories. Gosh, I should
Hey,
cash those in. Yeah.
we are buff
All right,
Sekiro now.
There we go. Yes, we're super buff. All right. I'll count us out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so with that, we're going to take a short break. We will be right back with more Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Randomizer with Hell Has Some Fury, and Yo Joshorino. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. My name is AirAngel, and this is Game Masters. Before we hop back into the run, I just want to give everyone a heads up. Coming up after this show, around 10:30 Eastern, is Time Capsule. And it's going to be 2013 Volume 2, Part 1 of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. So make sure to stick around for that. But in the meantime, we are still going strong with Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Randomizer, with Hell Has Some Fury, and Yo Joshorino on comms. Count us down whenever you're ready, Hell.
All right, I'm gonna count us in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's
All
go.
right, let's do it.
Let's get it.
Cruising right along.
I am gonna try one more place that we went to, kind of like dipped our toes in. Let's see, where's that idol? Gosh. That's not gonna be it. Ashina Castle. No. Where is it? I feel like I picked one up.
Are you? What are
Josh,
you looking for right now?
I'm looking for the one for Sunken Valley.
I always
like I
go
picked
that
it up.
way from the castle.
Okay.
Pretty much
I'll
just from
just
the
go
castle.
out the dojo and go that way. It's faster than sitting here and wondering which one it is.
Okay, so Sunken Valley. What do we have? We have what? We have the mini boss before Gunfort, and then Gunfort,
Yeah.
and then the mini boss after
Yeah,
Gunfort.
so there let me think about this. There's for Gunfort, we're gonna encounter Snake Eyes. That boss.
Everyone's favorite sniper.
She's rough. And then after that, we can go through Gunfort. There are not, I think, any important items until you beat the mini boss there.
Okay, and then we don't have the
So-
key to get past it, so
Yeah, so we're just looking for a quick check here of, oh, hello.
it's Tengu.
Yushin, hi.
Yeah.
No hard feelings about killing you, right? Thanks. We just picked up a book for
Hey.
him, so that's cool. What have you got? Shadow Rush. We got Ashin Across. Can't afford to buy it though, so that's fine. All right, we're gonna go through Gunfort. So this is actually probably one of the places that is less memey somehow. Oof.
The classic pancake.
The classic pancake. How did you, ma'am? Are you aware this is not where you belong, madam?
So Gunfort becomes, I guess, less of a meme because nobody can shoot you out of the sky.
Yeah. So like this area normally, there's a bunch of snipers and they're firing away at you, and that's a rough time. Not today. Today it's gonna be just some people.
Just all
just vibing.
palace nobles, you know?
Yeah. So that's gonna be fine, probably. Who knows?
There is actually a variation of this randomizer where if you so choose, you can make all the enemies the same thing.
Oops, all Ishin.
Yep. And there are some really interesting things that you can do with that. It's hard to say
It's,
what the worst one actually is. But
I would argue that all Demon of Hatred is the worst.
yeah. And then
So normally
of
you
course
jump a gap such as this. But I've never figured out how to do it without outcropping. Can you do that, Josh?
I can. There is a lot of weird geometry there that can just kind of stuff your jump and make you fall into the ravine there. Nothing wrong with a little bit of safety. So are there any
Oh
bosses right
no,
now?
that's a grabber.
Oh, hello, friend. Are there any bosses right now
You
that
can
you're
tell
like concerned about
sound.
seeing?
So, True Monk is a really like a nightmare at the top of Ashina Castle.
It makes sense.
I'm thinking probably based on time, we're gonna end up with a Shura ending. So that means that whatever is allowed to be up there is gonna be our big issue.
It's the good ending.
It's the awful, terrible, sad times ending that nobody wants to have to do, but
It happens.
This general has a spicy moveset. I actually don't remember which one he is.
I think he's honestly like the first one. Based on his name, I think he's,
Yamauchi.
yeah. Tenzen is the part that I remember.
Ah. It's really
I think he's
interesting
the one
'cause
from, like-
a lot of the early game enemies actually, like, they did something weird in this game where with the early game enemies, they didn't give them that constantly aggressive property to them. And sometimes it makes them harder.
Yeah, because they like hesitate.
It makes them
And
less
then
predictable.
You're like, oh, a gourd seed. Okay, well, I like that for us.
The Baja Blast Seed.
The Baja Blast.
Let's go find out who the mini boss is before Gunfort Shrine Key. Sometimes they are the one who, in fact, drops the key.
Oh, that would be
So
interesting.
that's if they are a person that I can fight, it's worth trying. If they're a person that is going to take me a long time, then I remember that we left a key item in the castle.
Yeah,
We
that's
didn't
right.
check. It was by Kuro.
Oh, I'm so glad you remembered that. That would be horrible to forget about.
Well, I mean, we still have to go talk to Kuro one more time.
True.
So we would spot it for sure.
Oh, he gone.
Oh my gosh. That poor villager minding his own business.
Okay. So I know that there's probably a safer way to handle that villager, but I just find it so entertaining to do that particular stab.
Remember,
so I do
everybody,
it every
Tell
time.
has
I just-
some fury. Not a lot, but when she does, it's gonna throw you off a friggin' cliff.
Look, okay, but like I do it. It's okay. It's a game. It's supposed to be fun, and
Making a note not
and
to
when I get to throw people off
stand
cliffs
next
like
to
that,
cliffs.
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
kind of fun.
that's the most aggressive, passive-aggressive thing to do.
Shouldn't stand in front of cliffs like that.
Oh, he
Oh,
saw
they
it
weren't
coming.
having it. Nope.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, I saw what happened to the other
Saw
guy.
what you did there. Not today.
I'm angry. No, it's beautiful. You love to
Didn't
see
save
it.
him though.
You love to see them
So
learning from their
sad.
fellows' mistakes.
This is the room that I think of whenever I think of Demon of Hatred being a terrible boss on the randomizers.
Oh, I don't think he can spawn here.
He
Oh, no.
can if you have it set up to. It's another Juzo. Hello, sir.
Yeah, so I think this is his cousin, the glutton.
Yeah, he's usually in the woods.
Yes, he is. Oof. Okay, I parried it, but my poor posture though.
Taking a sip. Yeah, these enemies are
Okay.
just a disaster to fight sometimes.
The bully.
I think my native impulse is to parry, and it's bad. You know, like
the double Ichimonji is a really weird one to parry because in general, Tokijiro has attacks that the hitbox extends a little bit outside of his body, and they can actually hit you from behind, it feels like. So you can be facing him, you can throw up the parry, and it'll hit you anyways.
it's wild.
I'm just kidding.
It's
Bully.
just Yeah, he is a big bully. Okay, so we picked up a gourd seed. We're gonna talk to Emma about that. We had to get through a lot of important
Lore.
dialogue.
It's the lore split.
Yeah, this is it's true. Do you call it the lore split in your runs?
On speedruns, typically I'll call this split eavesdrop or lore.
Yes.
And this is genuinely one of the hardest splits on the run, or it was before people discovered that you can turn off subtitles, because you have to mash through the dialogue at a really specific rhythm, and if you mash too fast,
Yeah.
it'll lock you out of mashing through for a second. And if you mash too slow, then you lose time. So this was a split that would it would make your hand cramp up, and it would lose you time, and it was a stressful split, and it was just talking to NPCs.
I remember watching you some days when you were doing this particular split, and it was rough.
Quite possibly the most
Okay.
amount of focus for the entire run. Oh, it's the Lotus. Kuro,
We just went to check, and then it was right here.
Right
Kuro
here.
sends us on an adventure to go find the Lotus, and it's chilling right next to him the entire time.
And he
It's
had it the
literally right
whole
behind you.
time.
It was right behind him.
Where's our socks,
can't.
Kuro? We demand our socks.
They better
Give
be
us those
fuzzy socks
socks,
too.
Kuro.
We're not taking just any
they
old sock,
better.
all right?
Look,
Let's see.
need it.
I can't believe that it. I've had the game kind of soft lock me there because of not
Hey there, friend. Still
her.
have some
Sorry,
business
what
with
am I
me?
saying? Lock me out of getting gourd seeds turned in and stuff.
Because the world
And
state
that's
progresses.
why I ran away. Yeah, and it's funny that I chose to run away right at that moment.
Man,
Okay.
Next time, friend.
Kuro.
So I think we. Go ahead.
It's like when you're talking on the phone with somebody and then you start looking for your phone. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man.
It's a rough time. So we have, there's 2 prayer beads that I know of, right? There's a couple different places where we could pick one up right now, and I think it might be worth it to do that before we go in for the final boss.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I'm gonna go ahead and grab those. One's from the castle outskirts at the gate. I think we have several items here.
Well, while we travel, I'm gonna
another
plug
one.
in a couple things if that's cool.
Go for it.
Okay.
We're just gonna be running.
Just as a heads up to everybody, the Frame Fatales Games Committee applications are open right now. So if you go to gamesdonequick.com, you can apply there for Frost Fatales coming up in February, March of 2022. You could be a part of the Games Committee. It's a really awesome opportunity to go check it out for our all-women speedrunning community. And the Frame Fatales have also been selected as a finalist for the Game Her Awards. I just typed vote in chat if you wanted to go there and venture to that link and vote for us. That would be awesome. And yeah, that's all I had. Get a little plug in.
Excellent.
Sounds great.
Wonderfully plugged.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay, so
Extra
that was the
healing.
medicine.
Very good.
Worth it. I always keep in the back of my mind, where are the, which shops could I go to increase my power level if I don't have money now for the thing, but I might in the future have money for the thing.
That's
what I
amazing
mean?
that you can keep track of all of that.
It's difficult, and if you're playing a lot of randomizers, like I did, at the outset of things, I was going through as many randomizers as I could to prepare, because it's different every time, so you're gonna have a lot of chaos. One of the things that happened was, getting everything crossed in my head, you know?
Yeah.
Like I couldn't keep track of what was what anymore. Like where did I see that item? I don't know. And that was rough, but I've I just played the regular game to
Yeah.
you know, keep preparing for a while.
That's something that's really interesting. There's something like the way that this differs so heavily from a typical speedrun in that you have to be able to work on the fly. And because on a normal speedrun, you just know what you're supposed to do. And you know what the next thing you need is and where to get it. But here you could get them in any order. And because of that, it's not as straightforward.
When I tell you it's so hard to remember when you don't have the McCary counter,
Oh my god.
but you like, because you have like the muscle memory, right? You're like, you know, you're like trying to block it, right? It's like when you have the nerve endings in like a phantom limb, right?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
You're like,
It's like you try to
reaching
use it
for it.
as if it's there because you should have it on a normal playthrough when you go to fight that enemy.
right. Well, and then the worst thing is that like once you acquire it for a while, you have like the brain, you know, situation of like, oh, I don't have it, don't try to McCary counter.
Yeah. It's basically,
be really tough.
especially if you spend resources to get it, because then it's like, okay, I spent resources to get it, but now I'm not using it anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so we have to go somewhere very far away
Okay.
in order for it to trigger.
Oh, you have to
We've
reload
been hanging
the entire
out in
area.
the castle area. If we don't leave the castle area, it won't trigger, so we have to go back.
Yeah, typically
Okay.
the plot would direct you to a place where it could advance the world state, but
Yeah. So we advanced the plot, and you can tell because there's only one place to go to now. Going straight back to where we were.
welcome back.
Yeah, there's been a whole invasion in your absence.
So the world state's advanced, but we don't see it as like daytime, like we normally would.
Yeah, that's true. I guess they. I don't know. So there are some funny things graphically with the randomizer, and I wonder if that's what's going on here.
Yeah, it may have visually progressed to like, the logical next world state after you kill Genichiro. So it may have just, put it one step forward instead of, where it actually is supposed to be.
I'm getting this for safety. She says, getting stabbed.
Oh, the time save, getting knocked out of the animation. You love to see that.
I mean, I just didn't want to have to do that jump again. I'm better at that jump than I used to be, but it's still not my favorite.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a lot of wall jumping memes.
Yeah.
In this game, no.
Well, it's funny because,
Sorry.
people will often say that this game is like perfectly polished. And it's From Software's most polished title. And it definitely is their most polished title. But at the same time, a little bit of jank found its way in.
I mean, what's
if
even
you-
the point if it's not going to be a little bit?
If
Absolutely.
you bully the game enough, you could find some stuff, you know what I mean? Like, if you literally just have at it and try as many random weird things, I'm sure you could find anything.
Yeah.
That's true.
And speedrunners find all of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, if you want someone to text, like, has bug fixes, like, you hire a speedrunner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They're gonna find all the weird stuff, and then they're gonna tell everybody about the weird stuff, and then everybody's gonna exploit the weird stuff, and you're just gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that From Software decided to buff Mortal Draw, though, instead of nerf it after it got good. Because when the game first came out, Mortal Draw was terrible. It was not, like, worth using ever. And nowadays, it's one of the best weapons in the game. And it's a sword that, it's the Mortal Draw. It's the Mortal Blade. so it should be.
It is the Mortal Blade.
I'm going to see if this here mini boss has an important anything for us. I just
Oh, hey, Doggo.
wanted to beam.
There, bud.
Just the idol went out, but we already sat down,
That
so
was-
we can actually do things.
He was just saying hello. No.
You gotta be kidding me.
No. He's back.
Okay, so there's two chained ogres in the game,
And both. And they were both Ashina.
both in
elites.
this room apparently.
Wow. Would you look at that? Ogre's back for more. He's come back for his revenge, dude.
He missed us.
Hello, sir. Okay, this is the second ogre. The one that's typically downstairs in the castle. You know, at least he's not
Sekiro,
far from
shadows
home.
die twice, and ogres are back for revenge.
Ogres die twice as well.
Ogres also die twice.
Sekiro.
Chained ogre 2, chained ogre reloaded.
Oh lord.
Oh, he's busting free. And you know what? You cheesed him once, you can cheese him again.
Yeah. You know, cheese him once, cheese him again. I'll do it every time, sir.
Do you think the first time he was too tall to go in a building, but here we are.
He doesn't
How did
learn.
he get in here? Again.
Same way
with
Diogo's
the,
horse
like-
got in here.
Welcome to the show. How did I get here? I don't know. How did he get here? We don't know.
Sir. No, slam. Rude. Oh, he got me.
Ah.
Alright. It's okay. We still have a resurrect. Fine. I just have to be more careful.
Again, you know, you gotta let him have something.
Yeah, because otherwise he'll be sad.
Sekiro
Imagine-
Shrek-tacular. That's a good one.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Check yourself before you Shrek yourself. Chat. I love it.
This is
Beautiful.
Ashina's chiropractor right here. Oh, he's
wow.
going for the back adjustment.
Oh my.
Got him. That was so dangerous. That was so incredibly dangerous. What just happened?
That is what we call in the biz spicy. And whatever
Well,
biz that
it was
is, I
worth
don't
it,
know.
'cause we got-
We're here for it.
We got a memory
Hey,
that?
worth, as they say in the
as a
business.
divine dragon. Fantastic. That's normally a boss that we would have to kill a ways out from now. So
I love that they've given you, you know, Demon of Hatred. They've given you Divine Dragon.
right? I mean, I don't think that the memories I don't think that they are extra potent later on or anything.
Nah, I don't think they like
yeah.
scale up in quality. Although that would be very nice.
It would be, wouldn't it?
But still,
Right.
the more the merrier.
This is the moment of truth.
Who do we have here?
This is where we choose our
I
fate.
remember you well.
Here's our kid Kuro.
I heard
there,
stories of
kiddo.
your death. Yet here you are.
How's he doing? I'm wondering if Owl's gonna be.
Owl?
No, okay. He loaded
Ah,
in properly this time.
In the randomizers of the other games, it'll swap them.
Look at that
Oh,
hair.
will it
Like
really?
in Dark Souls 1, in the cutscenes.
Gold.
Right.
To
So we're
help
gonna
is
share
not
it here.
defined, but the same could
Um,
be said for you. The power
that-
of the That's it. What? Now from
That's
this moment,
the bad ending.
this list
But I don't think we have
Are
time
we
to do
are we
a broader
getting
ending
some
I hear, but
based
interference
on
here?
where
Is
we
that on my
are.
end?
So I don't know where. Okay. That's corrupted monk. We're gonna get our snap seats out. Josh, do you want to talk about corrupted monk for a minute?
Oh, I'm back. Hello.
Hey,
Hey there, Josh.
Fun little internet hiccup. Apologies. Oh, I see who we have here now, though.
Yep.
Hello, corrupted monk.
Isn't it fun?
Fun.
Yeah, that's what we call fun right now.
so
Well,
who's-
you know,
who's
at
this-
least it's one health bar.
What's this guy's deal?
So she
Oh, excuse me.
Is
Sorry,
ghost?
bad person. Hey.
I mean, traditionally has like some like you have to read the lore kind of folks.
The gentle blade, is that some sort of like a joke? So incredibly gentle.
I'm staying well away from her while I get ready.
She's not hicking around.
Okay.
And casually fire.
Ouch. Hold on. Just a moment here. What's up?
I think the stream is fine, but Discord is being a little weird.
Okay. All right. Can I proceed?
Yeah, I think you're good to go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, I am back. Apologies.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
What an excellent time for that to happen. So, okay, there was... I'm assuming that this is the lovely Shura ending.
Yeah, we're doing the Shura.
Beautiful. Good ending.
Yeah. Yeah, I just got a little memed on just there.
So, I mean, we talked a little bit earlier. We talked about bosses that we didn't want to see. And True Monk was pretty much at the top, right?
Yeah, it's just because phase 2 of True Monk is a nightmare up here.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
This is like True Monk's little brother.
So like when True Monk summons the like shadow versions of itself, there's nowhere to hide here.
Right.
I don't know. So like the speedrunner strat is to just go on trees, right? That's what
Well,
y'all
there's
do?
actually you can
I am
skip
trapped.
phase 2 pretty much.
Hello, please allow me out from the doorway. That was awful. Thank you.
There's actually something really funny about what just happened there, and it's that on a normal speedrun, you would trap Genichiro or Owl behind that door there.
Oh wow.
So the fact that Monk just did that, the Monk is a speedrunner.
The monk knows.
Basically.
It knows the speedrunner tech.
It learned. It's tired of getting memed on, so it had to learn how to get good.
But it's tired of getting memed on, so it becomes another meme, but I like get stuck by the door. Perfect.
Alright, I gotta get out of this corner so I don't get grabbed again. Alright.
This is another boss that says, "No, you will not be posture killing me today."
Whoa, we got lucky. She was just outside of range there. Ow, ow, ow.
So basically what Hell is doing here is just trying to get the monk's health as low as possible. And that is so rude.
That is rude. I almost never miss the parries on that like long set of 5. It was the pressure.
It's okay. You got this.
The pressure. There was one life there, so I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
But basically with this enemy, as the health gets lower, the posture doesn't recover as quickly. So if y'all watch the posture at the very beginning of the fight, it basically empties immediately. And that's the hard part about this. This is another one where on the speed run, normally you just skip this boss entirely.
Gonna play it extra safe by recovering our posture there.
Really nice to see the snap seeds and the confetti here.
Got caught on the
Were
ground.
you just
there?
stuck on a... That was weird.
Yeah, it happens. I don't know if it's randomizer specific, but it happens to me a lot.
Huh.
There's like a piece of terrain there that'll trap me if I'm not careful.
Yeah,
And
I've
I
never
just
seen
have
that
to
before.
know that it's there.
It makes me wonder if Owl's collision is still hanging out there or something. Oh, that is a nice loop.
Gotcha.
Oh, and the
Take that,
style
man.
finish right there.
I really wanted her dead.
Oh my god.
Oh no,
She's back.
that's fine. She's gone.
Okay, never mind. No, we're good. We're good.
No, that happens sometimes. I don't know why. Something about the randomizer. We'll get enemies. Okay, it's butterfly.
Butterfly.
It's butterfly too. Okay, never mind.
Oh.
Abort mission. We're running.
And she's shouting as Ishin.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I don't know if you noticed this, but Monk was shouting as though it was Emma. That they always retain the dialogue of whoever was already there.
I'm gonna be honest, this doesn't make me feel as bad about killing Emma and Ishin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're two enemies that we don't like a lot.
Yeah. It's a really nice strat there to circle the arena until the projectiles disappeared. And the enemies.
Yeah, I think it's the safest strat. So I've run into Butterfly here before, and she's a little bit troublesome.
If you couldn't tell.
Very nice. That was such a
You
clean
can't tell that
combo
she's
parry.
troublesome.
Yeah, so that running around the arena is actually really similar to what hitless runners will do,
Oh, really?
because it's pretty much the only way to guarantee you don't get hit by anything during that.
That's fair.
Yeah. So she spawns a lot of little shadow guys, and in this arena, anyway, sometimes they don't appear fully. So they're here, but invisible.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Or on the
I can
roof.
actually walk into them and get stabbed
Oh, gotcha.
if I'm not careful. But they don't spawn too close to the edges. So see, there's one right there.
Wow. They were, yeah. Wow, how about that?
They
That's
will
bully.
mess you up. If you are not ready. So there's just a bunch of little quirks to a randomizer. Especially with a game as complex as Sekiro, right? You know,
Yeah, these
game
bosses
itself
were,
is
you know,
just tough. There's
They
a
kind of
lot of moving
exist
parts.
along with
Right.
their arenas in a lot of cases,
Yeah.
as opposed to just being able to be placed anywhere. I think that From really gave a lot of thought to the arena design in this game.
Oh yeah, they definitely did. The bosses really belong in the arena that they're in, and you can tell when they aren't in the right place.
Yeah.
Like
What makes you say that?
sometimes. Oh, 5,
Look at
4,
that.
3, 2, 1. We got her. That's the
Beautiful.
end.
R.I.P. Grandpa Ishin.
Or Grandpa Ishin. Also, I will showcase right now the beautiful, his textures haven't loaded in. Silver Surfer version
Okay.
of Ishin and
the
Dad.
owl is the same.
Well worth the wait.
I just love
yeah,
I
that's
love
something.
The Silver Surfer versions of
That
them.
is totally normal right there.
It's perfect. They're perfect.
We hope to defeat a
How
man.
could you see anything more perfect?
Oh, this is so cursed. This is gonna haunt my dreams.
I would expect no less.
I'm
from
sorry.
my home.
I didn't mean to, Josh. It's just that I love it so much.
Now nothing stands in our way.
Also, we get to see how evil we've become.
Making us live with our decisions. Hell,
I know.
This is
Terrible.
cruel.
Country
Okay, but look,
is ours for
We-
the taking.
we betrayed Kuro.
Aye.
We killed 2 people who helped us a lot during the course of the game.
Oh, I did. I don't know if I've ever seen this cutscene.
And we murdered our own father, who we sided with against.
He had it
Kuro.
coming though.
Yeah, that's true. So that's where the ending comes from, the name Shura. I think it just means demon. It's a kind of demon, right?
Yeah, seems like it.
Well, while
Here's
we're going through the
Burrow.
cutscene, if y'all wanted to do some of plugins, if you wanted to talk a little bit where they chat can find you outside of this run.
Sure. My name's Hell Has Some Fury everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch. Those are the places where you'll find me most often. I also have a Discord, and I stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Play a lot of hard games calmly.
Yeah.
Oh,
I,
and we
as
like to
somebody, I
learn
can
stuff.
I can vouch for Hell. She has a wonderfully relaxing vibe and is very fun to listen to.
Thank you, Josh.
Soldier
And where can we
And
find you, Josh?
alike.
You can find me at twitch.tv/YoJoshAreno, where I would do. Right now, I'm doing Dark Souls 3 speedruns, working on a few different things, and I usually am doing hitless runs and speedruns of the From Software titles.
Massacre
Nice.
of the Sengoku
And
era.
Chubex wanted me to give a shout out to the Nook,
And
and I
for a
believe
long
Hell Has Some
time
Fury is
after,
also part of the Nook.
it was
And
demon
I am as
Josh.
well.
lurked.
Yeah, look at that.
Really, really wonderful stream team. Very similar vibe to the kind of things that Hell and I have.
Yeah.
Sweet.
If you like cozy fun times, then I
Well,
think you'll
thank you.
like hanging out in the Nook.
Yeah, totally. But thank you two so much for joining me for my very first Game Masters as a showrunner. Everybody, this was my first show. I don't know if you could tell, but I had so much fun. And the art segment right before with Chubex was so so entertaining and also super enlightening, like to talk through the lore and stuff. But I hope everyone here really enjoyed the Sekiro Shadows Die Twice Randomizer. I know I did. If you missed part of the show, you can catch all of the VODs and stuff will be uploaded to YouTube. So check that out. And before we wrap up, is there anything you two want to say?
I would just like to thank the Fifth Mat for making this randomizer in the first place, Distraction Crab for making the randomizer tracker, and also for like greatly improving on it, throughout the time that it's existed. The Speedrunning Discord for helping me out, my partner Maro, and all my friends. And this is Barkamedes. He wants to say
And
hi. as well.
Barkamedes. You can't forget Barkamedes.
Gotta thank
Doggo.
Barkamedes.
There. All right.
And-
Well, coming. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say thank you so much for having me. I had a wonderful time commentating, and it was an absolute pleasure.
Yes, thank you for having us, Angel. I would like to thank you as well.
Oh, y'all are so sweet. Anyways, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. This has been Game Masters. I've been AirAngel. You can catch me twitch.tv/AirAngel or AirAngelTV on Twitter and Instagram. But coming up after this show is Time Capsule 2013 Volume 2 Part 1 with Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. And I'll see y'all around.